the worst thing I've ever done. It's something going flash and white and things. Cast Chronicle is like, how is everyone? I don't know if we're live yet. That's how I am.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure that we are, and we'll probably get some people saying, "We're live, Decker, we're live."
I don't know. So, Jesse Guillardo is asking, did it start? But Jake Chester is saying, hey, y'all. So, I still don't know.
Your guess is as good as mine. I'm going to check to see if we have started.
I'm doing that right
Colonel
now.
Scram saying, no, not yet.
I see us.
Okay, so we are live, but Colonel Scramble says we're not live.
Oh, okay. We're in a bit of a paradox now.
Well, if we are live on YouTube, that's good. If we're not, that's bad. I know the difference between good and bad here. Are we live on Alfrica TV? Because we're supposed to be. I turned on Alfrica TV and YouNow and all that happy stuff. And it should be going there. And it is. It is. We are live on Alfrica TV. Logan Tinky says you're live. We're live. We should be live on Twitch and Mixer and DLive as well. Something just is... Okay, the Mixer chat has stopped for some reason.
Oh, goody.
On the restream, so I can pull that up on my little surface right here. It's so nice to have multiple computers to work with. But hello, World Wide Web. I'm Necker Show, the internet personality of the best here, and welcome to Live and Wired, episode 40, the third, Doomed by Disney. Joining, as always, we have that long-haired creepy guy.
Yo. And we are definitely live. We've confirmed this. We are live.
And the one we have to thank for that at all, Patricia Moran.
Hey, everybody. And I guess the fact that we have finally reached a live stream that is live as opposed to not being live, that way we don't have to sputter a bunch of words thinking that we're crazy. So, hello, everyone.
Also, wanted to note, I like Discord. It's nice, it's quick, everything's fast. It looks like Creepy's not, like, he updated his potato, which is really, really nice. But I really am not a fan of this really scrunched kind of look, so did a little something.
Yeah. You did something. Oh, okay. I'm actually interested. What did you do, Decker?
Are you looking at the...
You will note the lack of enthusiasm on my face because I have experience with Decker doing things.
It's all perfect. It's right here. We got a Patricia. We got a Creepy. We got a chat box. We got a tip jar. It's amazing. We got a viewer count. That's one person on Twitch right now watching. I don't have the YouTube view count because that never worked anyway. But look at it. We got things. We're a professional stream.
I think I remember that this was like one of our polls that we put out like last year. It's like, what would you like to see in Live and Wired? And they said, we want to see better production, please. And I think we finally got it.
There was also the option for canceling it entirely. Fortunately, that did not win the poll. It's an amazing thing. Live and Wired viewers aren't particularly interested in not being able to view Live and Wired, despite my best efforts.
We have a question from that guy for $20. Thank you, that guy. Just wanted to quickly stop by and help make sure you can eat. Did you give any thought into my suggestion? Which suggestion would that be, that guy?
Ooh, I can't remember. I know that you get lots of suggestions all the time. Also, the tip jar there, I'm pretty sure, is not working with the super chat for some reason because nothing happened. But it should work with like Twitch donations and also super chats on the gaming channel, but which this is not going to. Even though I did technically stream a little Saints Row to the main channel by accident.
Yeah. We have a question. Jake Schuster asks me, hey, Patricia, what are your thoughts on Invader Zim and Rocko's Modern Life on Netflix? Good question, Jake. I actually did post my discussion of Rocko's Modern Life Static Cling on my YouTube channel just a few days ago. And tomorrow is going to be my discussion/review of Enter the Florpus. And then next week, you're gonna love this, guys. Next week, I'm actually gonna watch Dora and the Lost City of Gold. Yes. I have reached that point in which I was going to be like, Rotten Tomatoes says that you have an 80% rating, and fans love it as 89% because apparently it has meta humor, and I'm like, I'm actually curious. I want to watch it. So
that guy dropped $5 and said, lights out review.
Oh. okay.
So that's the thing. That's the thing. I
Thank
have
you.
no idea. I don't know many things, honestly. I'm
I
generally
like that.
just kind of coasting through life, expecting Creepy to think of everything that I gotta do, and Patricia to actually pull it off. It's just
So
being
this
honest
is what
here.
went wrong with the plan. I forgot to bring Patricia along with us. So yeah.
Yeah, if Patricia came to Japan, I'm pretty sure it would have been a lot better.
I don't know. Like, if we were to have a trip to Japan, just all of us. I mean, usually I like to, put together a schedule of things. But with Japan, it's very difficult because there are so many places, and the fact that none of us speak Japanese will probably be a little bit difficult unless we know an interpreter who can help us, or maybe we can be able
Yeah,
to find it
I know
ourselves.
just enough Japanese to get by. I just
Okay.
I
push
speak
my
a
way
little
through
bit
every
of
crowd just saying
Japanese.
sumimasen, 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 and if one guy comes up to me and starts yelling at me in Japanese, I just shrug and say wakarimasen and keep going, sumimasen, 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 there we go. Done.
I speak a
Okay.
tiny bit, as Decker can attest to, but it comes and goes, and it can be very hard for me to remember how to speak Japanese properly when I've been awake for 36 hours.
Yeah,
So
that's completely fair.
yeah, so yeah, it was really embarrassing when we finally found the hotel room that we were going to be staying in, and by that point, I could barely speak English, much less Decker remembers that, I
Yeah.
think, and if he doesn't, then good.
Yeah, I mean, repressed memories are fun, but
We have a comment. We have a $50 donation from
50 DKK.
yes, Donkey Kong coins from Colonel Scrummel. Your thoughts on the SpongeBob SquarePants spin-off in the works? Yay, nay, or hell no?
Well, unless it's got like a horror movie trailer attached to it, I didn't hear about it.
It doesn't. It's not even close. It is a spin-off slash prequel series called Camp Coral that has the SpongeBob characters as very young, and they go to camp. So think of Camp Laszlo, essentially.
Okay.
We
Well,
make our dreams come true.
I never really watched SpongeBob, but the funny thing I remember with involving SpongeBob was when I was working in grocery stores stocking shelves.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of Pokemon, and there was this one guy there who just was like, you have to have something wrong with you to be your age and like Pokemon. And he was the biggest fan of SpongeBob ever, and he kept trying to explain to me how SpongeBob really is for adults. Like, they show him in his underwear! Come on! And I'm like...
Yeah. I think the three of us were pretty much too old for SpongeBob when it first came out. Like, me being the youngest of you three, I was 13. So
Right.
my younger cousins were into SpongeBob. And there was like only one... I saw like a handful of episodes. I wasn't like invested in it. But I do remember that I would say that I mostly respect SpongeBob as opposed to like absolutely love it. I have met a few of the voice actors over the years in conventions like Lori Allen and the guy who voices Squidward, Roger Bumpus. They were really nice people, by the way. Excellent people. And I saw more of the influence of SpongeBob from younger people at the conventions as opposed to like people that I knew who loved it. Like there was this great story of Florida SuperCon. That was a convention I went to a couple of times over the years. And there was a guy who was like right in front of me getting a SpongeBob DVD autographed, and he was dressed as the scout from Team Fortress 2. And he talked to Roger saying, I grew up in foster homes, and one of my favorite things as a kid was running home after school and watching SpongeBob. And I thought that was a very sweet story. And then there was like all the panels of the Q&As of people asking about SpongeBob questions. And I was like the one person who said, yeah, how was it like playing as the chief from Where on Earth is Carmen Sandiego? And then, I was just looked at like, what? What are you talking about? But yeah,
Awesome.
had a comment earlier from Wences Acosta saying, "Guys, my depression is acting up bad, and I'm in a dark place. Do you guys know of any cheesy horror that can be found on Netflix/Hulu/Amazon?" Now, I generally don't go through Netflix, Hulu, Amazon. Right now, I've been watching a lot of Crunchyroll. Dragon Ball Z. I just saw Videl get the crap kicked out of her.
Yeah.
That's speaking of that's not going to help if you're depressed. I'm sorry. That's just no.
No.
Something else. Some cheesy horror.
Something horror related. Now if you're looking for something horror related,
like horror, but
really,
cheesy fun horror.
Okay, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
I guess if you're going for cheesy, you might.
If you're going for bad cheesy, go for that show because it's really terrible. But it is cheesy. You can laugh at how bad it is.
I'm not in that department, to be quite honest, but I do know of a lot of cheesy shows because, over the years I have delved myself into watching various programs, and, I've, I went mostly with Nickelodeon stuff, so My Brother and Me is, like, really cheesy. Like, it is a prime example of, like, early 90s sitcoms. Like, if you want to see a show that tries to be like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or Family Matters or any of those shows, then just watch this and you'll just see how amazingly awful it is. I'm sorry for people who grew up with it, but it's not very good objectively. And also, I do enjoy Wienerville, unironically. I know that a lot of people say that when they see the show, it's like really weird. I mean, it's akin to like these variety shows of the '50s. And I guess maybe Are You Afraid of the Dark? I guess some people kind of like it as being cheesy.
Mr. Acosta says, "I want bad cheesy. I'll watch Troll 2 and Wishmaster 3 if I have to."
Oh,
okay. Then Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is for you. Yeah, go for that.
There's also a few super chats coming through. Man, I really wish that dang tip jar actually worked for like super chats on the main channel. I got to figure out how to set it up right. I linked my gaming channel to it and it worked, but right now it's just sitting there being dumb. You can anyone wants to see anything fall on that, and you're not following me on Twitch, you can head over to my Twitch channel and follow, and it should just drop a little thing down like yay. Just so we can know it's working.
I'll read them off. So
really quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, just real quick before we get off the subject, I thought of one more for them.
All right.
Supernatural, but
Treevee.
But watch the show in your mind. Imagine that Dean and Sam are ex-boyfriends in addition to being brothers. And then listen
and then listen to
every argument that they have and tell me that they do not sound like an old married couple.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
Okay, so super chats, by the way.
With several super chats.
Yes.
Okay, we have a $40 chat from Savage Tiger 13 who says, "Damn it, I don't care if I'm stuck here at work, still going to support you guys. Now I'll have to go so I can keep saying sorry, not my department. Have a great night." Thank you very much, Savage Tiger.
There's also a 20 super chat earlier. Or was that, did we already cover that one?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
That guy.
I have brain. Yeah. Oh, that's
we do have a
okay. That's a little frustrating. I thought I had changed that GIF from the zombie over to something else, but we got a couple of followers, and there we. Okay, yep, there it is. So we got a couple of little smiley faces falling into the tip jar to represent followers. The tip jar still works, but that one GIF, I swear I changed it out for something more custom. Like I had the Dancing Myers GIF, I had the Creepy Dance GIF. I got all the GIFs. It didn't show up. It was still the zombie. I'm like, crap.
Yeah. $5 from Lord of the Streamers who says, "Hey Decker, love your reviews. Will you be?"
You cut out.
Will you be? I'm sorry. $5 from Lord of the Streamer says, "Hey Decker, love your reviews. Will you be reviewing Rush Hour 3?"
Yes. I got the rest of the summer Jackie Chan right here. There have been some good requests that I'm sadly not going to be able to get to, but I got the Rush Hour trilogy, so get Rush Hour 3 in there, and it's going to be fun. It's just going to be like I think 5 more. If I do it all one a week as I've been doing, then it'll be within the summer. Remember, summer is from June 21st to September 21st. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't start in early June, and it doesn't end in August. That's not how summer works. Every year we go through this.
I know. There's actually a few people who are suggesting cheesy horror movies in the chat, so thank you very much, everybody.
Yes.
We have...
Demon Orc saying on Twitch that they heard they're doing a new Timesplitters game, and I heard that too, which is real good considering the last Timesplitters game that was being made got canceled for the dumbest of reasons.
Yeah, it was.
Which
More information about that.
We covered a lot of them.
Yeah.
The specific reason Timesplitters was canceled, like the Timesplitters game that they were working on last time,
Right.
is because the marketing team couldn't figure out which of the characters to put on the box.
Yes, that is very true.
Okay. Keep in mind,
Even though for the last game they already figured this one out, they just couldn't anymore.
Right.
Thanks for the follow.
Like I said, we've covered a lot of stupid things on this show, so I had to, I needed some help. Which stupid thing was this one?
If you want to know more information about this stupid thing, then Guru Larry actually did a video about like 5 reasons on why some video games.
Yeah, several. Guru Larry had a big video of that, and all kinds of fun things like the original Streets of Rage 4 was supposed to be on Dreamcast, and it got canceled because the head of the team at that point didn't have any idea what Streets of Rage was.
Exactly, and
it was like, what is this weird game? No one will want this thing. Just get rid of that. What's the market for 4? Why does it have a 4 in the name? I don't understand.
Yeah, you gotta love corporate idiots. Retro Crunch was asking, have you guys watched?
The real Mullen says, Decker, you live in the South. Summer will end when it damn well pleases. That's right.
It's true.
I mean, kind of hard to argue at that point.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I'm sure that in like the next month from now, when summer's officially over, it's still going to be scalding hot.
I mean, it's still going to be in the 80s in Texas. It's just not going to be hurricane season anymore.
Or tornado season, where I am.
Oh, that's always fun.
Yeah. We have hurricanes. We have hurricanes and tornadoes where I live. So
we have the best of both worlds.
Right.
Smitten the Kitten in Mittens says, greetings from Wales. Hello there, Smitten.
Hello.
Let's see. DC Nine Tails Anime Boy says, An American Werewolf in London. Will you review it?
American Werewolf in London. That one, that's been a long request. I remember, it was really popular when I was young. And I never really sat down and watched it. I saw bits and pieces. So I have some kind of an understanding, but not a very good one. I'm like, is this a romantic comedy?
Well, it was done by John
Kind
Landis.
of a dark ending for a romantic comedy.
I mean, John Landis is very known for his dark humor.
Still comedy.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, boy. Prom Night. I've had that on DVD for a long time. Never actually sat down and watched it. Possibly because it's a movie called Prom Night. But, it is a request. It is something I need to keep in mind. Just do your damn job, Deca. That's kind of how it is.
Toby Kirkby says, review Life Force. Good luck with the tracking on cover-up smiley faces.
Oh boy. I don't know about that, because Howard Drive has been giving me a lot of trouble with the little tracking and the little hand animation even, and trying to put in keyframes and such. It should not have taken me 40 minutes to get that 3-second Popeye clip in the Legend of Drunken Master review. But it did.
And I remember Decker, the rant that Decker gave me when I called him, and he was like, did that 40 minutes of this.
We have another $5 comment from Lord of the Streamers who says, have any of you seen the 1990 movie The Will? If so, what did you think of it? That movie was always a childhood favorite of mine.
I can't recall. I'm drawing a complete blank here.
The
Willies.
The audio glitched out just a little bit for me, Patricia, when you said the title of the movie. What was it again?
The Willies.
The Willies. Oh, why does that sound familiar?
I don't know.
I'm not even sure what that movie is, so sorry, guys.
I'm sorry. I wish I could be more help. It does sound slightly familiar, very vaguely, but I'm not drawing any details about it. It's just It was more like, I think I remember that something like that exists, but I don't have anything more to give for that. Sorry. I mean, I really am. I wish I could give you more. I wish I had more to say, but unfortunately, it kind of just sort of flew over my head. I guess.
Yes, sorry,
I don't know.
Lord of the Streamers.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
All right.
Decker has either entered a comatose state.
No, I just realized I never brought Mixer up on my service. I'm like, whoops! I gotta check the Mixer chat.
You were typing, not vibrating. I'm sorry.
But
I had to do that.
yeah, there was also a question earlier. What do I think of Doom Annihilation? And I said it earlier to my fiance. I said I feel like Doom Annihilation is to the Doom movie what Mortal Kombat Annihilation was to the first Mortal Kombat movie. I mean, yeah, the first Mortal Kombat movie was actually considered a decent video game movie, whereas the first Doom movie was certainly not. But looking at the trailer and such, I'm just getting the real Mortal Kombat Annihilation vibe. It's like, you know, they got technically some stuff from the game more so than the original did. Like, Mortal Kombat Annihilation had, look, that's Rain and Ermac, and they're doing stuff with Shao Kahn and shit. Who gave a damn? Freaking motherfucker, they're sitting there, like, talking like a goddamn, just fucking a legal advisor about how he's like, the energies they waste bickering, I would spend collecting souls for you. And just, but at the same time, I'm looking at Doom Annihilation, and it's like, oh look, they had an exploding barrel. How quaint. How nice of them. They remembered there's barrels explode in Doom. Got it. Just really good accuracy here. But everything else about it is just like,
since Decker is talking about Doom Annihilation, I guess we might as well talk about it. I actually do have an article about Doom Annihilation because the trailer was first revealed. So let me see if I can find it.
Yay?
So, yeah? Question mark?
yay.
I better do something about that glare. Sorry about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I thought it was just your heavenly power.
Yes, Creepy has graced us with his presence.
Oh.
Let me see if I can find it.
Alrighty.
Let's see. Darth Necrosis says Mortal Kombat Annihilation rejected Power Rangers ripoff. Okay, I guess so. In a weird way, because I guess with the giant monsters, I guess that makes sense.
Now I'm imagining all of the Mortal Kombat characters as teenagers with attitude, and to transform into their, Mortal Kombat personas, they have to go like, Scorpion!
Okay, so this whole time, Feed the Swag Pig 5 has said, hello, when Endgame? How about an Endgame review? Avengers Endgame review! Well, I was sitting here just not having the chat up for Mixer.
Mm-hmm.
So, Creepy, how about that Endgame review?
Endgame? We could probably get around to that eventually.
Eventually. Alright, I got it up. So, new Doom.
Yeah, breaking up again, Patricia.
Oh, I don't know what just happened.
Oh, it sounds like your microphone has gone to a completely different microphone.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, now it's back to the other one.
Now it's back.
I need to get a new one. New Doom Annihilation teaser trailer. Blood, guts, and monsters. They forgot to mention the exploding barrels. But
The exploding barrel,
watch the
very
trailer.
important.
Yes.
It's a 30-second trailer.
Yeah, it's not that much, but it sure has a lot of information, though. Doom Annihilation is poised to release on October 1st, and before that release date arrives, we got yet another look at the upcoming movie. Teaser trailer release on Thursday shows a fight against demon scientists get countered after opening a portal to hell. It is a clip that only lasts a few seconds, but gives us an idea of what to expect from Universal 1440 Entertainment's new Doom movie that is based off an entirely new story. The clip below was shared by an official Twitter account of the new Doom movie, where the armed scientists face off against waves of hellish monsters. The teaser only lasts for 18 seconds, while a slightly longer version was shared with Dread Central that includes a few more seconds with action.
It just, the way it comes off to me, it's like I'm not having high hopes. It looks like it's going to have more monsters than the first Doom movie. It looks like it's going to have more things to do with the game. but the acting, the presentation, it all comes off very, very straight to video, which is precisely what it is. So I guess that makes sense. But yeah,
Yeah, I know. Another $5 from Lord of the Streamers says, "Hey Decker, I'll send $200 to your PayPal if you review The Willy someday. The offer will always be there. So thank you, Lord of the Streamers."
a bribe. Now you're speaking my language.
And $2 from Don Achenberg. Any plans to review the 1988 version of The Blob?
Oh, I don't have that scheduled or anything, but I don't see any reason why not. It'd be fun to check out some of the more classic, cult classic horror.
Mm-hmm. Let me see, where was it? Oh yeah, Universal Home Entertainment announced the release date of the Doom movie back in July. It'll be released on Blu-ray, DVD, and digital platforms with no theater release planned, because of course. A synopsis of the film provided by Universal gives some insight into the story for those unfamiliar with what the Doom series usually puts in its human protagonist. Based on the popular original video game, Doom Annihilation is an explosive, terrifying thrill ride, the synopsis said. On the darkest moon of Mars, scientists have found an
Doesn't
ancient
Mars only
portal
have
which
one
allows...
moon, or does it have two? I can't
It
remember.
has 2 moons, but still, that's
Well,
not a very.
how do you judge which moon is darker? I mean, Phobos is named after fear, so I think that kind of works. But
Yeah, and then there's Deimos.
okay, so that sounds even worse, actually. Now that I think about it,
Mm-hmm.
fear and demons.
I like to... Okay, so we can assume it's probably...
You know, I'm reassessing my thoughts about moving to Mars someday.
I'm gonna guess it's probably Deimos.
Yeah.
Because it has demon in it, and we're dealing with, demon monsters from hell. So I'm going to assume it's Deimos. Anyway, on the darkest moon of Mars, scientists have found the ancient portal which allows transportation throughout the universe. Considered to be mankind's greatest discovery, it's actually a gateway from hell, unleashing a sort of demons to look for this to steal the souls of everyone who gets in their way. It's up to Lieutenant Joan Dark and an elite unit of Marines to destroy an ever-growing...
Wait, Joanna Dark?
No, Joan Dark.
Oh.
Not to be confused with Joanna Dark. I guess
So
maybe they thought...
it's like crossover between Doom and Perfect Dark.
Yeah, they're not even... Yeah, exactly. I was actually thinking about that. That's actually really interesting. Like, they have characters that
Cat tells me it's actually fear and panic.
Oh.
And Hollow666 says, Decker, get your ass to Mars.
Also, wasn't this the plot of the Devilman live action movie that we reviewed, Decker?
But they opened a portal to hell?
Right, opened a portal to hell, except instead of Mars, it was in Antarctica, and it unleashed a swarm of basically demon flying seamen. Basically.
Yeah, the demon sperm that would turn people into devils.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like a combination of Doom and The Thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
$3 from Mike Videos, who says, "Ever see the Canadian gem, The Final Sacrifice?"
The final what?
The Final Sacrifice.
No, I can't say I have. And $5 from Edward Zwanziger saying, would you ever review Rocky Horror Picture Show? No, never. I refuse.
Creepy has, though.
Yeah.
Decker has reviewed it with me, actually. We did a crossover review. It's on my channel.
Yes. We have $2 from Bad Dragonite, which has cutest Dragonite avatar.
Oh, I shouldn't mention it. Okay.
Alita Battle Angel review when?
As soon as I get the UHD and figure out how to rip it properly.
Okay. Let me see, where was I? Okay, Doom Annihilation is scheduled to be released on October 1st. So, yay.
Hooray!
Get
to see all the exploding boxes.
Okay. And back over to that. And yay!
Well, we have another $5 comment from Lord the Streamer, which says, "I want to hear Creepy do his best Godzilla roar impression."
Isn't that just being screaming? Like, just...
No. That wasn't it, no. That's definitely not it. I can't do it. I don't know why. I guess I have stage fright. I'm like,
Well, it's pretty much a oiled leather glove rubbing on a cello or something like that. I can't remember exactly what makes the Godzilla roar noise.
I'm always
It's basically that it's you rub a bass instrument with a rubber glove with like some sort of like um gel tar or something like that.
Mhm.
So it's like, yeah, rubbing. You wear a leather glove and you rub it against a stringed instrument.
Right. I'm
Speaking
always
of speaking of Godzilla and stringed instruments, there's something I have to show you later on that's actually pretty awesome.
I'm always interested to find out like all the ways that they make sound effects and stuff like that. How they just the mundane ways that they can make something sound otherworldly in
Ah,
movies and in animation, like how they made the Doctor Who TARDIS noise that was just rubbing back and forth over a piano string. Yeah.
Yeah.
Savage Tiger 13 dropped $20 and said, "Sorry it took so long to get back to this. And while it does depend on your definition of horror movie, one oldie that always helps me feel better when I'm down is Howard the Duck. And it had the alien beast thing at the end was pretty damn extreme, especially for the time.
Howard the Duck is a movie that's really hard to pin down in terms of genre. It's definitely got some sci-fi. It's definitely more sci-fi fantasy, but
I
like
watch
then
it as erotica.
Of course.
but it's like once you get like like about a little over halfway through the movie, like the guy gets possessed, and then just all this horror shit is happening. So it's
Get
just
that
like
hook, slimy hook tentacle thing coming out of his mouth. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I fear I'm spoiling it if I mention anything else about like certain responses I had to certain scenes when they happened when I was younger.
Mhm.
Hmm.
It was like when he got better. I'm like, what the heck? No, you don't get better from that. How the what?
It does seem like something that should take a little bit more effort to get over than a head cold.
Yeah.
But yeah, on Doom Annihilation, the story, I mean, the story in Doom isn't necessarily a complicated one, and it's not exactly set in stone either. But it's just the presentation of Doom Annihilation where I feel like they kind of. That's the really important thing in a Doom movie. Like, the story, like I said, not too important. Don't overcomplicate it. There's like 3 different versions of what happens, according to the games themselves, between 4 games. There's 3 different ways in which it happens. First 2 games is hey, we're on Mars, we have high technology, we invented teleporters. It opened a portal to hell. Oops! Third game was, hey, we're on Mars. We can do all kinds of experimentation without having to worry about ethics because we're not on Earth. We created teleportation technology. It opened a portal to hell and corrupted the person in charge of it. So now he wants to create a portal with demons that swallow all of human life! And it's kind of a little more intent. Doom 4 is, hey, we're on Mars. We got a lot of high technology, and we created this teleportation thing, which is kind of cool. We found a teleporter that goes to hell. That's interesting, but more importantly, hell has super oil, ardent energy. So if we could just get past this demon problem, we can get this really fucking good energy source. But this Doom guy keeps showing up and like, hey, you can kill the demons, but like, could you leave our oil rig? And he just smashes everything. And like, Doom guy, I just told. Why did you? That's kind of how it goes.
Yeah. It's kind of funny that you mentioned that movies and knowing about how video games tend to have very basic stories, especially if it's an older video game. They tend to complicate it into a movie into the point at which it's barely recognizable.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, Lord of the Strippers gave us another $5 saying, "Is the girl streamer that's reading the super chat single?" No, I'm not. Sorry, but thank you for the compliment that I'm gorgeous. I really do appreciate it.
New follower Hershey Kisses 1975. Welcome.
Welcome.
Ah,
Let's
yeah,
see.
Doom Annihilation. I am not looking too forward to it. I don't think it's going to be a terrible movie, it just is. It screams 2 out of 5 to me. You know.
I can't wait to see your rant on it.
And on the way home, no less.
Well, technically he's gonna be home because it's not being released in theaters.
I'll still go out to my car. Fuck it. My fiance doesn't want to sit there and have me blow out her eardrum while I talk about a movie. She has to deal with that enough in day-to-day life.
The neighborhood and freak out the kids. Yeah.
Mommy, that long-haired man's here again, screaming about stuff. What do I do? Don't forget your safe word, honey.
Just come inside, sweetie, and don't make eye contact. It's not safe.
Okay, the real Mullins. Okay, now people are wondering about status of relationships. Now the real Mullins is asking, is Creepy taken?
To be fair, I'm the only one sitting here constantly talking about their fiancé.
True.
That's true, yeah. They don't know about our relationships.
Yeah.
That's fair enough, to be quite honest. I mean, my relationship is private, so I really don't want to go into more details on it.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm
just kind of like, would anyone really be even interested in mine? So.
I mean, mine's not really that interesting. There's not really much to say. Sorry.
Yeah.
Brianna Roberts asks earlier in the chat, Creepy, did you see my birthday shout out?
Yes, I believe I did. Thank you very much.
Maximum Ghoul said, from the creators of Doom, quote, plot in a video game is like plot in a porn movie. It's expected to be there, but nobody really cares for it.
Yes, the infamous John Carmack interview quote where he was mentioning about the importance of plot in a video game.
Of course, that was in the early 90s. So
yeah, very true.
Things have changed quite a bit. I personally still kind of feel that way, but my fiancée, for instance, she has this idea that, like, cutscenes are important and should not be skipped to get to the actual gameplay.
You know, that's actually really interesting because I had a similar conversation with this to my cousin a few years ago when The Last of Us came out and everybody was praising it as the greatest video game of all time. And he was discussing about how story was so important in a video game because why would he play a video game, you know, if there's no story to invest yourself in with great characters. And then I was telling him, you know, like 20-something years ago, we had a game and that was it. The character was like an insert of ourselves experiencing the game, and that's what we loved about it. I mean, like if you were to take a look at a character that is you know stayed throughout the test of time throughout 30+ years, they don't really have like deep, engaging backstories. But I think for like,
Italian plumber,
yellow circle with a big mouth.
Gotta go fast.
Tiny dots fire at centipede.
Feed the Swag Pig 5 on Mixer asks, do you play Gears of War and which one? I only ever really played the first one, honestly. Played the heck out of it. But I might be getting the one that's coming because I got the Xbox One X and it's just kind of sitting there collecting dust and I feel bad. Like... I feel bad for the poor thing. And like I loaded my EDF 2017 into you and had some fun with that. And I've been playing Saints Row 1 and 2, and I'm happy about that.
And we actually have some Saint Row's information for an upcoming game that we'll be discussing later on.
Yeah, Saints Row 1 is still only ever been made for the original Xbox. It's backwards compatible with the Xbox One, and that's also the only way to actually play it at a stable frame rate.
Yeah.
On the X specifically, still the Xbox One S has a few dips here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to get that smooth, buttery smooth 30 frames a second. That's all I ask.
Gorgeous. Yeah, go ahead.
Bond lighting.
But yes, information on the new Saints Row. There is a new Saints Row.
There is, actually.
Another new Saints Row.
Well, yeah, let me see if I can find
it's been a while since the last Saints Row game.
It has been. How long has it been?
I mean, there was Saints Row 4 was the last Saints Row game.
Yeah.
But then there was Gat Out of Hell, which was a spin-off, and then there was Agents of Mayhem, which took place in the same universe, kind of, if you go by a specific ending of Gat Out of Hell, where you remake the world. But it's it's like the last sort of Saints Row game was Agents of Mayhem, and it didn't do too well. The last game that took place in the Saints Row universe was pretty much Get Out of Hell, sort of. Last Saints Row game was Saints Row 4. It's...
Alright, there you go.
There, indeed. Oh, okay. I forgot to change that. Oh, there we go. It's fixed.
Yay.
Everything was all chopped up. And when you do it like this, you can't really read it. Okay, so whose turn?
It's Creepy's, actually.
Awesome. There we go. Took a minute for it to load.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Sorry. Let me just... Okay, there we go. Back to normal.
Yeah.
I got a message from Discord. It's like, oh, who's it from? It's like, oh, it's nobody's important. So go ahead.
A new Saints Row is currently in the works that will... You know what? I have the sudden urge to read this as William Shatner. I don't know why, but I'm going to.
Real quick, got a $2 super chat from MegaJetty1 asking, please review Jean-Claude Van Damme's Double Impact after Chan Summer. That could be interesting. I'm not sure about exactly right after. I should probably do something horror, because there's a lot of requests. Do some goddamn horror, you stupid son of a bitch. Okay, continue.
A new Saints Row is currently in the works. That will be the first fully fledged entry in this series since Saints Row 4 came out back in 2013. News about the next game in the series was revealed in THQ's Nordic's latest financial report. Not the first place I would think of to find information about Saints Row 4 in, but okay. Which states that the studio behind the Saints franchise, Volition, is already deep in development, as opposed to deep in debt. While it doesn't reveal any projected release date or title, which is usually the information you want, the fact that it's deep into development process could suggest that it's not far, or that they're just twiddling their thumb. It's been 6 years since we last got stuck in the over-the-top action with the Saints as they went up against alien invaders. But we don't know how long Volition has been working on the next title. After you've become the President of the United States, who gets hurled into a virtual world to fight the alien Emperor, Zinyak. Yes, Zinyak. The possibilities of what might come next is anyone's guess.
Yeah. Not really that much information, to be quite honest. Let me just turn this thing off. There we go. We have a $2 comment, by the way, from MegaJetty1, who says, please review JC...
I already read that one.
Oh, never mind then.
Shame on you.
I know.
But, yeah, Saints Row. I don't know about you two, but I personally have always been a big fan of the Saints Row series, though it did take me a while to get into Saints Row 4 just because they changed so freaking much of it that I was less... Saints Row 3 left a bit of a bad taste in my mouth, because I liked Saints Row 4 a whole lot better, and Saints Row 3 changed some characters pretty drastically, and they took my favorite character, killed him in the opening, in such a way that I actually went through the entire game thinking, like, okay, when's he going to come back? He couldn't have died from that. Come on.
Yeah.
And then the credits are rolling, and I'm like, he didn't come back.
Oh, we got a comment from our buddy Teddy Rubskin, who says, Van...
God, you cut off right then. Van Damme is the greatest action star ever. He's got the splits. Certainly.
And Teddy also says, he always delivers, even when the movie ain't so good.
Yeah, I personally feel that way. And he's done a lot of bad movies, unfortunately, but that's... His career got in a bad spot. I always kind of felt like you're kind of rooting for him, like a real-life Rocky. At least that's kind of how I went about it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But, what was the word?
Now Brianna is asking, creepy, try singing the Mothra song.
Okay, that I can do. Me. Masura, dengan kasaku ya Indomu, And I forget the rest of the line.
That's better than I could do.
All right, good job, Creepy. Thank you.
But yeah, like Saints Row, the Saints Row series, going from 2 to 3, 3 looked a lot better. A lot of the gameplay was a lot tighter and more refined, but there was a lot less you could do. It changed a lot of characters, messed with characters that I liked, and then Saints Row 4 came out and it was like, that was when the developers were in a very low spot. It was like technically sort of being made, not really. It's like no one really knew who owned Saints Row anymore at that point. But it's like, oh, everything is like, we've got, you're flying, you're the president of the United States, you're fighting aliens, and I'm like, what? Huh? What about the gang wars and customizing my vehicles and stuff? It's like, oh, you can still customize your vehicles. They just, don't drive them because you're a lot stronger without it. Oh. But now I've actually been playing it, and it does have its moments, its very fun moments. Showed one to Creepy, where it really felt like a Saints Row game at that point.
It's actually funny. I know this probably doesn't mean a lot, but I actually interviewed one of the many voices who voiced the president of the United States in Saint Rose 3 and 4. His name is Ken Michael. Yeah, I think that out of all the roles he's ever played, and that's probably like one of his most famous. I guess maybe because maybe his interpretation as the president is like really awesome. I'm not sure. I'll have to look to see which option it is, but yeah, essentially, I remember when Saints Row was coming out, a lot of people just dismissed it as like a Grand Theft Auto clone because pretty much every game throughout like the early 2000s was like trying to be a sandbox game, and they akin to Grand Theft Auto 3 for like basically bringing in the popularity of that. And then when the games started happening, like 2, 3, and 4, that's when it started building its own identity.
The thing with the biggest difference between Saints Row and Grand Theft Auto early on, in my opinion, is that Grand Theft Auto has its mission structure, it has its open world that you can go around with and play if you feel like, but it has its specific things that you're supposed to be doing to progress the game.
Mm-hmm.
Saints Row took the basic concepts and instead of giving the same basic mission structure of Grand Theft Auto, it just said, okay, do whatever the hell you want. The stuff that you do anyway in Grand Theft Auto games without there being a reward, you're actually going to be rewarded for in this because it gets you respect with your gang. You want to go streaking and run into a bunch of people and scare them? Go ahead, it gets you gang respect for some strange reason. You want to surf a car? Do it, you'll get gang respect. You want to just go around and cause a bunch of mayhem and blow up this entire city block for no apparent reason? Gangs will like that. Play in traffic. Throw yourself in front of a car and see how far you bounce. Gang respect. It's all the stuff that you just had fun dicking around with in Grand Theft Auto was actually the goal of the game in Saints Row.
Yeah. Oh, Bad Dragonite gave us $2 trader in Saints Row 4 yet.
Let me see. Have you found the penetrator? Oh, no. I was told where it is, and I looked around for it, and I couldn't find the dang thing. So, I'm just dumb. I don't have... I can go into my crib and get the big tentacle bat, but I don't yet have the big purple dildo bat to beat people to death with. I'm a bad Saints Row player, I'm sorry.
I remember for some people that was the big draw of the game. Getting to run around and attack people with a big tentacle dildo bat.
That's pretty much what my fiance spent her time in Saints Row doing. We got Saints Row 3 on Switch to play it co-op, but the game's been so frickin' broken since launch. They had the day one patch came like a week late. Also didn't really fix a lot of the problems. And right now, the Saints Row Twitter page is saying, oh, we're working on another patch, it's okay. And I'm like, when? Because it should have been out like 2 months before the game!
Yeah.
How? Like, if you're walking forward and then you hold sprint, you don't sprint right away. It takes some random-ass amount of time before you actually start sprinting. I counted up to 6 seconds before it actually started sprinting when I was moving forward and pressed sprint. But if you stop moving completely and then just press sprint, you'll sprint right away. That's a working
Wow.
game right there. Ship it.
Amazing.
Hmm.
Gun Driver commented, "I've joined the best moment ever. I don't have a big purple dildo bat to smack people with."
Speaking of Godzilla, I guess I want to actually bring this up. So
Godzilla has a
evolving
big
with-
purple dildo bat to destroy the city with?
No.
Why not?
No. His color is not purple.
Ah.
I mean, I guess depending on which Godzilla you're talking about. But from what I understand, he's not purple most of the time. But,
It's not
no,
his... Oh, no, God. No. It's an accessory. You hold it in your hands. Like,
sure.
Detached from...
Anyway, but no.
This is going in all the wrong directions.
But I do have something that is Godzilla related that's pretty rockin'. Nice little pun to lead into for our next discussion. So we have this limited edition Godzilla guitar that for the low price of $51,000 you can be able to own and rock out to very classic Godzilla songs like the theme song and various songs from monsters that come on by and a whole bunch more. So Decker, it's your turn.
Cool as that looks, I'm a little concerned. Like, those spines on Godzilla look like they're gonna hurt like hell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do kind of.
They're gonna dig into my chest. Or if I push the guitar to play low, it'll dig into even worse areas. But a new limited edition guitar manufactured by ESP and designed by Takamizawa Toshiko, who plays with the long-running Japanese rock band The Alfie, has been put up for sale. According to Neo Tokyo 2099, dear, I've seen plenty of animes about that. I'm concerned now, but okay. The model was created with the support of Toho, the studio behind Godzilla, and was designed to commemorate the 65th anniversary of the movie monster. It's just any number now. It's like, screw it, just make it. Features include an alder body, a 3-piece hard maple neck, and an ebony fingerboard. There's also a Floyd Rose bridge, Goto tuners, and a single EMG 85 pickup. Okay, at least it's worth it. The Godzilla guitar will be available in an extremely limited run of 5 examples with a price tag of 5.55 million yen, approximately $51,600. Orders are available from today, August 7th, through September 30th. So they're selling 5 at a cost of $51,000 each.
Yes.
That tells me that it's way too fucking expensive. But, aside from that, it'd be nice to have. If I was a millionaire, I'd get one.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not.
Let's see if they actually still have any more, by the way. So
That's not going to work.
His head here.
Just pointing at the tip jar like, come on.
Okay, let's see if they actually... Ooh, that's a cool website, by the way. Translate this page. I'm just going to leave it off. Let me see. Pretty cool, by the way. Look at this rocker. Let's see if they actually do have an option for you to buy it. Oh, and there's actually pictures that you can actually see more in detail. I'm actually going to click.
Is Godzilla's neck the whammy bar?
No, it's his tail.
Yeah, it's a tail.
I think that's a tail.
Oh, look at the intricacies of that. That looks really neat.
Lizard's Reviews on Twitch is asking new cam setup. Kind of. We have it the same on Discord as before, except this time I've set my OBS up to have it a little more professional looking. I gotta click between a couple of pages to do it, but it's worth it, I think. Not a whole bunch of blank space as we had last time on Live and Wired.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, there's the shop button, so let me see if they actually do have any more.
Nerdy John TO2 asks it says if they could donate, they would. And I'm thinking, $51,000 for a guitar is a bit much to ask a fan.
Well, it's probably like entering like information about it, but the official store where you can purchase all the cool stuff. So there you go.
Hey, you can buy a Godzuki.
Oh my god.
Creepy, you want a pet Godzuki?
No.
What? We never talk about. Never. What is the Godzuki, by the way? I'm actually interested. Oh, it's news. That's what it is. Ooh, cool figurines. Nice. A Godzilla T-shirt and some news. Nice. Looks pretty cool. Looks like some figurines. What we got here? I know this has nothing to do with anything. Let's see. Aw, that's so cute. Like the little Ghidorah.
It's only 702 yen.
Yeah,
That's like $6.
it's
I'm buying.
adorable.
Creepy. There's a Mothra. There's a Mothra for $6. Get a Mothra.
Excellent.
Let's. Oh wow, the Mecha Godzilla, the Gigan, and I can't really see what that one is. Sold out. Oh wow.
At 14,000 yen. Oof.
16,200 yen.
The one that's still available is like $500.
Oh, look at the King Caesar one. That's really nice. This Godzilla one looks really cool. Oh, there's an Ebra right over there. Is that Zilla? Is that the night? Oh my god!
Oh
Zilla
god.
for sale.
Ooh.
Oh my god, that's beautiful. They actually are selling Zilla on their Godzilla web store.
And somebody bought it.
Somebody. Oh, that's beautiful.
I don't know how many they made, but I'm still impressed.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Well, there's a lot of things that are sold out. It looks really good, by the way. Oh, there's another Mothra one that was sold out, and a Jet Jaguar. Oh, that's okay. This has nothing to do with anything. We better get out. I'm sorry, everybody. I couldn't help. We have $100 rubles from Gunbright.
$100 rubles? What?
RUB. I think.
Okay, that's in the turquoise color, so I think it's approximately $5. Or $1. I'm not sure. $2, $3. It's not too much, but thank you.
Okay, so from Gungriver, who says, "Get some of my hard-earned Soviet schmeckles. You rock." Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So when people see large numbers, they immediately translate it to dollars, and they think, "Oh my god, that's such a huge amount." It's like, not currencies are weird. Currencies are weird.
Yeah, but that was.
Is there a reason Decker went into puppy voice when talking to Creepy about Mothra? Did you see that Mothra? That Mothra was so cute.
It was adorable, but that's because it was.
On Mixer, Feed the Swag Pig 5 asks, opinion on Disney.
I think we should get into that right now. I think we're about an hour in of the show, so...
Yeah, we've covered like 3 things, so...
Yeah, we covered 3 things in an hour, so I think that now is about the proper time that we can talk about it, so...
Yeah.
Remember when we were joking about how eventually Disney was going to own everything, about eventually we're going to have water by Disney and oxygen by Disney, and that eventually we will be owned by Disney? Well, not only does Disney have so much power in getting a whole bunch of things, but they also have the power to basically cut off so many projects from... So, yeah, let's talk about it, shall we? Okay, so... this is a video playing. I don't want this video, so just go away. Okay. Good enough. So, Disney is scrapping a whole bunch of movies from Fox. Because of course they are. Pause this right now.
Disney got Fox, and they're like, okay, what are we going to do? All these projects you're working on, don't.
Yeah, we're going to dump it. Of the 246 movies listed in development by Fox, a lot of which were, of course, movies that most audience members would have never heard, since Fox deals with foreign, independent, and documentary films, among others, only a half a dozen or so will remain in development, most of which are movies that are either through the production process based off of mass intellectual projects, or that Disney has put faith in. That leaves a lot of movies to pour over and what might have been, or would have been, or what they might have gone. This list of genre projects that our audience would have likely connected with is a bit smaller, that you can see that we broke down. A lot of this legwork was compiled on Reddit, which you can see right here. So if you want to see all over 240 something projects that they cut off, we can see through there. I'm sure we'll discuss about it a little bit later, but let's just go over some of the ones that have been scrapped and we will never see again. Number one, Assassin's Creed 2. Fox was still planning, or at least not yet removed from their development state, a sequel to the 2016 Michael Fassbender adaptation of the soft game franchise Assassin's Creed. In the film, which hit theaters on December of 2016, Cal Lynch traveled back in time to the 15th century Spain through a revolutionary technology that unlocks the genes contained in his DNA. There, he lives out the experience of Aguilera de Nerja, a distant relative who's also a member of the Assassins, a secret society that fights to protect free will from the power-hungry Templar. Transformed by the past, Cal begins to gain the knowledge and physical skill necessary to battle the oppressed organization in the present. In March 2016, Daphne Yang, CEO of the film Taiwanese co-financer Catchplay, claimed that they were looking to turn the film into a franchise. At the time, she said 2 additional films were planned, with the first sequel entered into development during production and a potential setting in the Cold War, which has never happened before, by the way. Usually, Assassin's Creed games go way back into the past. That would probably have been like the closest that it would have been to like the 20th century.
Oh, they had the. Didn't they have one set in the Revolutionary War? Or did they have one even more recent than that? I can't quite remember. I didn't play too many of the Assassin's Creeds.
Yeah, there was one where there were pirates. I want to say there was one where during the American Revolution. But there's been a lot of, like you said, there's been a lot of them at this point. So yeah, I mean the Odyssey was supposed to take place in, what was it, ancient Greece, or was it Egypt? One of the two.
Egypt was. Was there another one in? I can't remember. Ah. But I did play a bit of Odyssey. I climbed up on Zeus's giant stone manhood.
Yama said he did the same thing.
I think you got a trophy for that, right?
Yeah. The game rewards you for scaling Zeus's. Yeah.
So, Patricia? Hello?
I think you scared her away.
I'm not sure if she can hear us. I'm pretty sure we can't hear her.
Patricia? Testing?
Oh no. It's because I'm here, isn't it?
Probably.
So, about that Disney thing.
Also, this ad or whatever it is that she's scrolling up past, it kind of reminds me of like one of those old romance novel covers.
That's a Flash Gordon. That was another one of the canceled projects.
Okay. Yeah.
There's going to be another Flash Gordon. Emphasis on was.
Yeah. I think we may have talked about that briefly before once.
Darth Necrosis says Assassin's Creed 3 was Revolutionary War, but they think at one point that they wanted to do one set in World War II, but thought it would be in poor taste.
Mm-hmm.
Bullfine saying she might scroll down if we read.
That's true. Although not here anymore, so
I see her struggling with her microphone. That's a good sign, or a bad sign. Oh, almost got a little bit of Patricia there.
Hello.
Hey,
hooray!
How's it going? I don't know. In the middle of the article, Creepy and I started talking about Assassin's Creed, and then it's kind of kept scrolling, and I'm like, wait a minute. Because I don't
did all that reading for. You're trying to tell me that I did all that reading for nothing?
Well, you exercised your neck muscles.
Ah, damn it. All right. So essentially, okay. So yeah. Let's talk about the other ones really quickly. Boogeyman, gone. Chronicle 2, gone. Flash Gordon, done.
Hitman 2.
Hitman 2.
You're still kind of breaking up a tad there. Like, a lot. Like, I can't hear you at all right now.
Neither can I.
Yeah, both fine. They were going to make a Flash Gordon by Fox, and Disney just stepped in and was like, actually, never mind. We'd rather just not spend that money.
Right.
Waititi. So that would have been awesome.
I agree, I think.
All right, so moving on. Skip Woods, X-Men Origins. I already read that part. Okay, in spite of both movies being critical and commercial disappointments, Fox was keeping the franchise, which is a big hit in the video game industry, in his back pocket for another potential return. Hitman Agent 47 centers on an elite assassin who genetically engineered from conception to be the perfect killing machine, and was only known by the last 2 digits on the barcode tattooed on the back of his head. He's a culmination of decades of research, and 46 earlier agent clones endowed him with unprecedented strength, speed, stamina, and intelligence. His latest target is a mega corporation that plans to unlock the secret Agent 47's past to create an army of killers whose power surpass even to his own. Teaming up with a young woman who may hold the secret to overcome their powerful and clandestine enemies, 47 confronts stunning revelations about his own origins and square-offs in his epic battle of his deadliest. So essentially, we tried once, it didn't work out. We tried twice, it didn't work out. I'm sure the third time will be perfect.
I'm still trying to figure out why clones always are more powerful than who they were cloned from. That's not how it worked in Multiplicity.
Another movie you haven't reviewed yet.
Yeah. Well, let's go over to the next one. Okay, number 6, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I like how the best picture they got for that one is a Blockbuster case.
Agreed.
Right? It's like we could have gotten any other ones. We could have gotten like the poster, the DVD cover, official promotional art, but no, we need to get the Blockbuster DVD cover. Genius.
I'm starting to see why all of this went under. Maybe it wasn't Disney's fault. Maybe it was a lot of really bad decisions.
What if that was the picture they were handing around when they were trying to think of making a new League of Extraordinary Gentlemen movie? It's like, we're going for something like this. It's like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If there's anybody who might be happy about all this news, it's Alan Moore, whose League of Extraordinary Gentlemen shockingly dull 2003 film. Like basically any live-action version of his comic work, Moore's objected to its existence, although rumor has it he was actually not against it from the get-go. Instead, he served as an advisor and board, and then was named in a lawsuit by a screenwriter who claimed it was too similar of an idea he tried and failed to sell Fox. The case was dismissed, but Moore was apparently being soured of the idea of working with Hollywood. In the film, renowned adventurer Alan Quakerman must lead a group of legendary literary heroes in a fierce battle to save the world. It stars Sean Connery as Quaterman, along with Shane West, Peter Wilson, Stuart Townshend, and Jason Fleming. You know, that would have been a really great opportunity to kind of reboot this movie because it had a really interesting idea of incorporating classic literary monsters. I mean, not monsters, a character. I mean, there was like one. I think it was like Jekyll, but anyway. But yeah, there was this. It was this really interesting idea that never really got fleshed out.
It's like the book version of Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Maybe I should stop coming up with comparisons. I'm not good at it.
Number 7, Magic the Gathering. Before Adventures Endgame directors Joe and Anthony Russo with an anime, which we actually did talk about, go listen to our previous episode, Magic the Gathering was being developed as a live-action movie based on the popular collectible card game. Magic would have been a big-budget high fantasy film. Which I don't know how good that would have been, but that's up to, you know.
I just assumed that the movie would end with both of the wizards just throwing their staves down and yelling that the other one's cheating, and I was like, no, that's how the spell works! That's not how the spell works! And they just start beating the crap out of each other like a bar fight.
I think what the plot twist of the ending of the movie would have been, it's like, you remember that, I think we even share, like, that reference to, like, that, like early to late 2000s like D&D campaign with a guy who's constantly asking about the Cheetos and being the elf or something like that. I wanted the movie to end like that, in which the whole thing of Magic the Gathering was like this huge game with a bunch of nerds sitting in their basement talking about like, oh, and this actually happened. And then there was this one guy who's like, "Where's the Cheetos?" It's like, it's right there. It's like, "Where's the Mountain Dew? It's in the fridge. Can I have a Mountain Dew?" "Yeah, go." And then one guy's like, it's like there are 7 ogres in this cave, and we're going to, shoot magic missiles.
Attack the darkness.
We're gonna attack the dark. Yes. Okay.
There are
let's
7
continue.
ogres surrounding you. How can they surround us? I had Morton Guidance Magical Watchdog cast. No, you didn't. I totally did. When you asked me if I wanted to do anything with the thing, I said no, but I need material components for my spells, so I cast Morton Guidance Faithful Watchdog. But you never actually cast it. Alright?
Like,
You're
not
getting... Okay, but if there's any girls there, I want to do them. Oh boy.
Let's go on to number 8. McClane, which we actually did discuss about last year on Live and Wired about a movie that was going to happen, but now it's a prequel similar to but distant from the Die Hard Year 1 story told in the comics. McClane would have introduced fans to a younger and recast John McClane. The film would have supposedly brought back Bruce Willis as present-day John McClane, as 60 years old, who would be working with a case that somehow connects to his days as a 20-something rookie. As executive producer Lorenzo Di Bonaventura had previously explained, "I don't know how you do Die Hard without Bruce. The idea that he's not significant in this movie is not accurate at all. We're going to explore John McClane in his 20s, but just as prominent as the 60-year-old version, because of course we do."
Well, that's a cancellation I'm not too heartbroken about.
Yes. Okay, let's go to number 9.
Oh, you sons of bitches!
Oh, now he gets angry. There we go.
What
Okay.
I have to live with.
We could have had 4K Gutsman's butt. 4K Gutsman's butt!
Oh, beautiful. After years in development, Capcom announced a Mega Man game and film in 2018. Based on the influential and globally beloved Mega Man franchise, Capcom aims to appeal to a diverse audience, including not only game players but action movie fans as well, with an adaptation that maintains the world of the Mega Man games, while incorporating the grand production and entertainment value that Hollywood movies are known for. Yes. Yes, they are known for that. Mm-hmm.
On Twitch, Lizard's Review says, no! And Demon Orc says, Mega Man. Okay, it could have been good, or it could have been like Sonic.
Oh. Okay, let's continue. So, Capcom also touted the success of the Mega Man brand and explaining how it attained cumulative sales of 32 million units worldwide, not counting the releases Mega Man X Legacy Collection and Mega Man 11. In the 30 years following its launch, the series has spawned numerous spin-offs, which altogether still enjoy the support of a deeply passionate fan base, consisting of everyone from younger players to hardcore gamers alike. Further, the Mega Man brand has been utilized in a mediums around the globe, such as character merchandise, comic books, animated television shows, and movies. Number 10, Play-Doh.
What? Wait, when did this get green-lit? I'm not entirely against Fox here, just saying.
I've got a question. What washed-up comedian were they going to have play alongside Mega Man?
Oh, Carrot Top.
Why was I thinking Carrot Top too? But I was thinking, he's kind of buff now.
He could be Buff Man. He could be Orange Buff Man.
I would think that Carrot Top would make a good cut man.
Yeah, he would make a great cut man.
Yeah, I could see that.
Okay, so let's continue.
I'd pay for the Rock to be Guts Man.
Oh yes, I want to see that too.
Very cool.
Oh, who should be Dr. Wily?
Ooh.
We already have Jim Carrey as Dr. Eggman, so we need to have somebody crazy like him to play as Dr. Wily.
I'm trying to think, who's someone that's known for playing balding, white-bearded, crazy men?
Well, not
Alan
white
Moore?
bearded, but jeez, the word just came out. It just went. Michael Keaton's been doing bad old guys for a bit, but I think that I don't know about him being Dr. Wily.
Yeah.
Think. There's got to be a good Dr. Wily out there.
Yeah.
Bill Cage says Mark Hamill. Dylan Kaiser says Kurt Russell. We'll think about it. I'll continue. Anyway, in the spirit of the Lego Movie, studios have looked into finding big toy franchises they can exploit, which has the benefit of huge brand recognition, lots of licensed tie-ins, and flexibility of concept. In some ways, Play-Doh seemed like an obvious choice using those standards. In other ways, without the genius of people behind the Lego Movie, what the heck is Play-Doh? What the heck is a Play-Doh movie going to be about? I've heard word. What about the movie which is based off of Count Chocula and Blueberry, the trilogy of movies that they're hiring writers to produce and direct? There's that. And no, I'm not joking.
The highest rated film of the year was Ass. And that was all it was, for 90 minutes. It won 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture.
Oh,
we have a $5 comment from Jack Britt. Says, let's point out the bright pink elephant in the room. When are we getting that Leisure Suit Larry adaptation we always wanted?
Okay, who would star in that one? Who would star in a Leisure Suit Larry movie?
I am thinking of... Oh... Who am I thinking of?
Rob Schneider?
Oh, no.
I think he's a little too old to play the role now.
You need somebody younger.
Just a little too... Larry's supposed to be, balding a bit. Has that male pattern baldness going on.
Yeah, and he already played as Deuce Bigelow.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, yeah, we don't want to...
True.
We've passed that already.
If he wasn't... Here's another one that I feel like could have been good for the role, but I think he's too old now. Ryan Gosling.
That would have been great, yeah. Maybe 15 years ago, in The Notebook, Ryan Gosling.
Right. I mean, he's got just enough of that slightly sleazy aura to him, but you can believe that underneath it all, there's a certain level of charm to him as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think he's someone who could pull off that balance. Someone who can be sleazy and kind of creepy, but at the same time, be a little bit charming. Kind of like Decker.
Very true.
Hey!
All right.
I just realized that might be insulting.
All right, now we have some more people who are stating, I don't know if Dr. Wily, I'm not sure, but we have Neil Patrick Harris, Tom Cruise, Steve Buscemi, Jim Carrey, John Lovitz, Steve Carell. Wow, a lot of nice choices, guys.
I would actually go for Neil Patrick Harris. I think he could pull off Dr. Wily.
Yeah. All right, let me just finish this off. From the writer Jason McAuliffe and director Paul Feig, the film would have added to Hasbro's diverse portfolio of movies based on his choice, such as G.I. Joe, Transformers, and the My Little Pony franchises. You know what? I'm glad that this movie never came out. I mean, unless of course they would have done it really well, animation, made out of actual clay. That would have been really beautiful if maybe Leica would have done it, but oh man, I think that was probably a bad idea. Okay, now I'm expecting Decker to yell and scream of this one. Number 11. The Return of the Killer Clowns from Outer Space in 3.
I'm gonna call some bullshit right here. When was this under Fox's umbrella? This is MGM, is it not?
Doesn't Fox own MGM?
Damn it! Don't confuse me.
I thought Fox bought MGM a while back.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to call in some favors for some information on the inside here, cause I kind of have that power at this point. So I'm just no, I will. This is like Johnny Gat dying. Okay, this is not happening. This is not happening.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go over to our story. So, it has been almost a decade since the Outer Space films. And recently, there was another announcement made that placed the project with the NBC Universal-owned Sci-Fi, but it seems likely that this project is already functionally dead and simply has not been officially. Fun fact: during my time of
Wait,
MLG
what?
video,
Are they? So wait, they're just assuming, not
yeah,
officially. What? I'm gonna call in my favors. I'm gonna call in my favors. Well, okay, I don't have favors. I'm just gonna call in like, hey, could you tell me?
Yeah.
I don't actually have favors. I haven't done shit for anybody. But
all right, let's go over to finally number 12 out of the projects, The Sims.
what?
You know that game.
What? What? How
Yes.
would that even? What would they call it? The movie?
The Sims, the movie.
Or just Sims, the movie. Or
Ugh.
just the Sims movie.
I mean, would the whole movie be in Simlish?
Yes. And we'll have like subtitles to try to guess what they're saying.
That would be helpful.
Okay. Like Play-Doh or Lego, it seems like The Sims is a concept that in itself lacks a lot of, well, plot. In May 25th, 2005, it was announced that the Sims film rights had been purchased by 20th Century Fox. At the time, not much was known about the film, besides that it was to be written by Brian Lynch, the man responsible for writing movies such as Scary Movie 3 and writing/directing the 1995 film Big Helium. This film was to be produced by John Davis, responsible for films such as Norbert and Aragon. Great!
This is just a wonderful pedigree right here. Somehow, like, just out of morbid curiosity, I do want to actually see what they would have come up with.
This would have been
Like, compare it to Doom Annihilation. Like, that kind of thing. It's like, okay.
This would have been awesomely horrible. Lynch, a friend of Kevin Smith's, who appeared in Chasing Amy and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, also wrote the Secret Life of Pets films. It's almost too bad that this one didn't go for it, because it isn't difficult to see how somebody as creative as could have turned that lack of plot into a pretty fun concept. Wow. And I thought the Play-Doh movie was like stretching.
I just like I turned The Sims into a horror movie about everyone who has a pool party, and then all of a sudden, the ladder out of the pool disappears. Ah!
And then aliens come by and burn people into flames.
That reminds me of something. What did John Masadi think of Killer Clown sequel?
I'm not sure how much I'm supposed to be able to say.
Okay, so let's take a look at some of
But
the other.
I'm just saying, like, there's a comment saying, one guy is saying he's 99% sure that Fox and MGM are separate entities. The thing about that listing that is, like, they seem to be saying, well, it's not really a thing, and it's like, but it hasn't been officially axed. I'm like, but isn't this supposed to be a comprehensive list of things that were officially axed? If it is not, then why is it being mentioned? And it seems to be from companies that aren't actually the companies involved here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much so. And if you're wondering, go ahead.
And also, the Return of the Killer Clowns from Outer Space in 3D, I'm thinking, like, the way things seem to be going with the Killer Clowns franchise, there might be a follow-up that might not necessarily be the Return of the Killer Clowns from Outer Space in 3D, but it would still be a continuation.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Anyway, so let's take a look at some of the other films plus that have been officially scrapped. So let me just see if I can scroll down. Okay, these are the projects that will never happen. So we have the Assassin's Creed 2, Chronicle 2, Commando. I'm not sure if that's based off of the video game.
That would be kind of funny, because the Commando video game I always thought was based on the film Commando. But
maybe you're right. Green Beret heads to Siberia to missing son. Maybe it's a reboot of the Arnold Schwarzenegger film. Okay. Let's see. Echo, a CIA coordinator, while wondering why if his wife has been replaced. Directed by George Clooney. The Flash Gordon movie. Flat Stanley. They would have made a Flat Stanley movie? What?
Wait, I think I remember Flat Stanley. Wasn't this like a bookshelf or some shit fell on him or something? I can't remember.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like a whole bunch of books fell on him, and he'd be completely flat, And now he's interacting with his family as a fat boy. They would have made a movie off of this?
I just, like, that was one of those memories I had of seeing something as a kid that I'm trying to think, was that real, or was that just a really weird dream I had?
No.
Oh, yes.
Man.
Dylan Kaiser, you're right. There was supposed to be a reboot. A reboot directed by Mark Dindal, who also directed The Emperor's New Groove, Chicken Little, and most recently Wonder Park.
Oh.
We're going to talk about Garfield in just a moment.
Okay.
So, let's see. The Magic the Gathering, McLean, the Mega Man movie, Nevermore. A girl slated to die on her 9th birthday is saved by a mysterious person. Meantime, a husband assumes leadership as his wife is in bed rest and realizes his life mirrors that of his frontier woman ancestor? Okay.
That's a weird-ass thing to realize.
Also, real quick,
Yeah,
Starring Jim Carrey.
of course. Pied Piper, a fugitive toy maker who is not Richard Hendricks, is on the run from an evil bounty hunter. Written by Max Landis. Of course it is.
Wait, Play-Doh is a live-action adaptation of the infamous Clay? What the hell's the Play-Doh doing?
getting eaten by children on a dare.
Oh, look at this one. Steel Skin, a retelling of the Rumpelstiltskin story directed by Andy Serkis and starring Andy Serkis. Oh, that would have been so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Confusing, but I gotta say, I am morbidly interested.
The Argonauts, an adaptation of the classic soldiers on a quest for the gold. Writer Zach Penn from Ready Player One and The Avengers. The Caves of Steel, adaptation of the Isaac Asimov story of the future where robots are banned. Director Henry Hobson from Maggie and writer Akiva Goldsman from The Dark Tower and Transformers 5. The Heat 2, sequel to the 2013 Buddy Cop movie. Director Paul Fig and writer Katie Dippold from The Heat and Parks and Recreation. Let's see. The Pink Panther, another Pink Panther? Huh. Animated retelling of the classic crime adventure Cool Cat. Oh, so it's a movie based on Panther, not of Inspector Clouseau. Okay. That makes sense.
Okay.
Let's see. The Three Misfortunes of Geppetto. A prequel to Pinocchio following Geppetto be with his true love. Director Seth Gordon, Baywatch Identity, and Sean Levy, Stranger Things Night at the Museum, with writer Mike Vukandovich, Kidding and Runaways. Well, we are getting a Pinocchio movie. It's going to be done by Guillermo del Toro, so I guess that's okay. Toymageddon, reboot of the movie Small Soldier. Director Justin Lin, Star Trek Beyond and Fast and Furious 6. Okay. Untitled Sandlot prequel. Oh, goody. Another Sandlot movie like we have the last few years.
Several untitled projects.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of untitled projects. A group of infants hatch a greatest daycare. Sounds like baby geniuses and Rugrats to me.
The true story of the head of security for McDonald's monopoly, stealing winning tickets and selling them to the highest bidder. Yeah, that really soiled the very popular Monopoly game for quite a few years.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. There are plenty of other, but yeah, but those are the ones that I'm just. So yes, because of the buyout from Disney, we're no longer getting these movies. So, way to go, Disney. Way to go.
I am still going to have to check to see exactly what is going on with that one because it's like, it cannot be.
Yeah.
It's just like Johnny Gat. No, didn't happen. Didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Think it happened, but didn't happen.
All right. So with that out of the way, so Decker, do you have anything else to discuss about?
Didn't happen.
Maybe. Yes, we know. Certain Twitter poll.
Oh yes. Got
on the wall.
The Live and Wired poll for this episode. If you could save just one for possible to put in a Twitter poll of the 250 Fox films, what the hell is wrong with me? Films. Axed by Disney. Which would you choose? Choice for the number 1. Assassin's Creed. That's a 2. Assassin's Creed 2. Choice for the number 2. McClane. Choice for the number 3. The Boogeyman. Or choice for the number 4. Flash Gordon. Because I'm trying to keep this from being horribly depressing. On Twitter, @DeckerShadow, 30 minutes starting now.
Yes.
And I will be sharing this out to the chat in just 1 second.
All right, then.
I'm not in the right place. And shaboom. Shaboom. I said shaboom. Shaboom. There, it shaboomed. Well, it's shabooming. It'll shaboom in a moment.
Yeah.
I hope. Did it shaboom? Okay, it shaboomed. It shaboomed.
Braden CH04 says some of those that got canceled were either going to suck bad or be a good idea. That's usually how it is sometimes. It's like it's a crapshoot. Some of those ideas sound and others were like,
It's
yeah,
like-
I'm glad that this never happened.
Yeah.
And it's like the news that so many so many Del Toro movies just didn't happen.
Yeah, we talked
And-
about that last year.
And
Right.
it's like, it feels like even if a couple of them, even if a lot of them would have turned out to be actually crappy, there's still some value there that has been lost. And I
Right.
want that value. I want it. That great value. Great value toilet paper. No, I don't want that. That is terrible. No, I do not wish great value toilet paper on anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Not even me.
No. Use Cottonelle.
I will. I remember us talking about all the movies that never got made, and a couple of them was like he had a couple of Lovecraft movies that he wanted to do interpretations of, and we were all, Patricia, you and I were both saying how that would have been amazing if he had been doing those.
Yeah, that's very true. He was talking about like.
Cut out halfway.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, we were talking about that. You're absolutely right. He wanted to do a Cthulhu, delve more into the history of like more creatures from Lovecraft, and yeah, that would have been fascinating. His interpretation of Beauty and the Beast was another one we talked about. Yeah, there were so many projects that we thought would have been so cool that never happened.
Yeah, and that was just kind of disappointing to find out because there was this. He had like this long list. It was like this long, all these movies that he wanted to make.
I just realized I could do something now.
Hmm.
Yeah. I am Puppet Master. You'd get it if you were looking at the stream.
Anyway.
Motorcycle US gave us $2. Says Decker, High School of the Dead, boobs, guns, and zombies.
You had me at boobs.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's not the only thing that he's doing. God bless him. Let's talk about the other upcoming reboots to things that they're going to be releasing to Disney Plus. Because, of course, hey, let's shut down Fox's plans so that we can be able to make our own. So one of them, yes, I know, it's crazy to think about it. So just a few weeks ago, there was the announcement of the Home Alone reboot.
Right.
And Kevin McAllister's the actor Tim Macaulay Culkin was not remotely happy about it. Not even close. So let's see how he thinks about it in more detail. So Macaulay Culkin reacts to Home Alone reboot. So Creepy, it's your turn. So why don't you discuss about it?
My turn. Okay. Here we go. And here we go. Okay, here we go. Macaulay Culkin has an epic response to news that Disney Plus is rebooting Home Alone. in the original 90s Christmas movie, actually 1990 Christmas movie, that made him a household name, Culkin portrayed the beloved but mischievous Kevin McAllister, so it was only natural that he shared his take on what the updated version should look like. Culkin, now 38, took to Twitter on Wednesday, sharing a hilarious photo of himself sitting on the couch with a laptop. In the pic, he can be seen rocking a headband and short white tank top surrounded by video games, various cords, and takeout meals. This is what an updated Home Alone would actually look like, he captioned it.
And here it is. 10 out of 10.
Oh, man.
And then he added this.
I just remember after Home Alone 2, there was was it a joke on The Critic, I think, where they're showing off Home Alone like 20
Yes.
as, oh my god, we left Kevin at home and he's only 37. Ah!
And of course, after that, I stopped watching the movies after the second one. I was one of the people who actually liked the second movie, but I didn't watch any of the movies after the second one because I just thought, like, okay, they're just doing the same thing over and over again with a different child actor that they're probably going to end up traumatizing.
Yeah. I actually saw all 5 Home Alone for a podcast. I think that, let's see, it was myself, Jocker Lee, and my buddy Tom, and some jerk from Boston. We talked about all 5. Each of them just got progressively worse. I'm still debating on whether the 4th or the 5th one is the worst of them all. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's been a while since I've done it. I think I did it like almost, God, like a long time ago. Anyway, so go ahead, Creepy. I'm sorry.
It's okay. E.T. reported on Tuesday that the modern version is set to premiere on Disney's forthcoming streaming service, Disney Plus. The news was confirmed by Disney head Bob Iger. Okay, thank you. During Walt Disney Company's earnings call. Kind of an odd time to bring that up, but all right. Though Iger didn't share any additional information, of course, regarding casting, release date, or plot details. Again, of course. He said that the reimagining version is for a new generation. Then why don't you just make your own damn movie?
Oh, really? Bob Iger doing something original? No.
You're not. No. Why come up with your own idea when there's an idea right there for you to exploit?
Well, you wouldn't have to play rights to it, for one thing. Back in January, E.T. caught up with the actor's younger brother, Kieran, on the red carpet at the Golden Globe Awards, where he revealed that the Culkins watch Home Alone every Christmas just like any other family. He, too, was featured in the original movie, along with the 1992 sequel, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, portraying the role of Fuller. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. He played the younger cousin, I think it was. Yeah, the one who supposedly he would always, if he had like anything to drink after a certain time, he would wet the bed. And like, there's this big speculation about whether or not he really was a bedwetter, he had a bedwetting problem, or if he was just doing it so he didn't have to share a bed with anyone.
I mean, we did see him drink a whole bunch of Pepsis, especially in the second movie where he had the whole bed to himself and he was surrounded by like cans and cans of Pepsi.
Right. It was a movie for us too growing up, which is funny, he explained. You would think that because he was in it and it was such a big thing for him that we wouldn't be able to enjoy it like a Christmas movie. But over the years, we have been able to watch it. Yeah, we watch it. Here's more in the video. Hear more in the video below.
Which we're not going to because copyright.
Right.
So yes, one of the million things that planning to do for their Disney Plus, including many remakes and many adaptations to their properties. Let's see, Star Wars, Lady and the Tramp, more Star Wars, Avengers, more Star Wars, and Star Wars.
Let's take a moment, since we've already covered this. Let's take a moment to process this. They canceled Flash Gordon, the Assassin's Creed sequel, and Well, we didn't care about the Play-Doh one. What was the other one too? That we
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Chronicles 2, Magic at the Gathering, McLean.
Right. All of these got canceled so that Disney could remake Home Alone. Let's just all take a moment to appreciate what has happened.
I have felt such a pain in my soul, Creepy. I do not want to take any more moments for this. Also, Feed the Swag Pig 5 on Mixer asks, have you played Metro Exodus? And I played the original Metro. I think it was the original Metro. It was a long time ago I played that. Haven't really played any other Metro since. But, it's always nice to be going around strange, dark corridors underground with horrible monsters just rushing around everywhere with graphics that just tank your rig for no apparent reason.
True.
Yeah. Kevin Burdine asks us, Creepy, and myself a question. Patricia or Creepy, your thoughts on Family Guy and American moving to Hulu from Fox? Do you think Disney was responsible?
Honestly, I'm not a huge Family Guy fan. I tried to get into it. I knew a lot of people who were fans of it, and it wasn't something that really grabbed me.
It's actually funny because I feel the same way. People that I knew who loved it. I think it's okay. There are some moments that I thought was pretty funny, but I just think it's fine. It's not a big deal.
Family Guy has good, funny moments.
Yes.
Like that's the thing about Family Guy. It can be very quotable at times because there are moments where it can be very, very funny. But in terms of a show on the whole being funny, it just doesn't grab me as a person. Like, I can find clips of it on YouTube and I can think, that's funny. But when I think about watching the whole show, I'm just like, yeah.
We got a $2 super chat from Itsuki Kuro saying an Alien reboot. And I think that the word is Fox is... I don't know what Fox is doing with the Alien series. Like with Disney.
The last thing that we heard was that they were going to reinvent Alien, and then they were going to do like the Alien shorts to coincide with the 40th anniversary or the 50th anniversary on Blue. And then there was also the Alien 3 script that never got done, and they were going to release it as an audio. That's the only thing we heard from it.
And then they did release like short animated movies for Alien Isolation that was literally just the cutscenes of the game just being played. It's like,
I don't think that Disney was necessarily to blame for Family Guy moving over to Hulu, I think.
Yeah, Hulu.
Yeah, I don't think necessarily that's true. Family Guy has had a history of finding a platform to air on. I remember it's been canceled by Fox more than once. It and Futurama both had a long history of being canceled and then uncanceled and then canceled again and then uncanceled. It's happened several times. So it may have simply just been that finally they just decided, you know what, we're tired of this. We're just going to go over to Hulu, and that way we'll have less of a headache dealing with networks. So
yeah, and also from what I understand, I think The Simpsons is going to be in Disney Plus, so that'll be interesting.
That really will be weird. I mean, just the idea of Disney airing The Simpsons. I mean, when are reruns of classic Simpsons going to end up on the Disney Channel the way that Power Rangers and the X-Men animated series and Spider-Man aired on Disney Channel in the early 2000s?
That would be
also
really
Motorcycle US dropped $2 saying, Decker, they canceled Clowns for Home Alone. I'm like, no. Okay, no. I'm going to find out what is going on and find out if there's anything that I can do to prevent that from happening.
Now John Ratzy's saying, what's next? Disney remaking all the Friday...
You cut out again.
Oh, I was just reading a comment saying, John Ratsy says, what's next? Remaking Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street movies? Don't push them, because they will probably find a way to wiggle around it. Let's talk about something else that's going to be happening from Disney.
They could. Remember Touchstone? We've talked about this before.
Yes, we
Touchstone
did.
Pictures, their Touchstone label. That whole label was created. The studio was created because they had all these scripts they wanted to make movies for, but they didn't. It didn't fit the Disney label, so they created Touchstone to
Yeah,
make.
it's just, these are Touchstone, and they still scream Disney film.
Now trying to imagine Friday the 13th and
Oh God,
Nightmare on
no,
Elm
no,
Street.
no.
Yeah, I can imagine like it has a big opening show tune number about going over to Crystal. It's like everybody, the kids are riding in the bus and they're so excited to go, and they hear stories about Jason and all that stuff. We're gonna have like Disney show tunes every 5, and then Jason's gonna have this like complex backstory, or maybe if they're gonna go into the Disney route, there's a plot twist in which one of the campers is Jason all along.
Ah!
What will Jason's big villain song be though?
Probably something along the lines of, "I'm gonna get my revenge on those who drowned me. You over there who had sex in that beach, I'm gonna get you." Something like that.
Oh, will Mrs. Voorhees be able to ham it up like Ursula from Monday?
I want to see that.
Or
I want to
Unfortunate
see that.
Souls. But yeah, where she's like in the kitchen cooking as she plots to poison all the campers. She's doing this whole poor unfortunate souls
That's-
about to die.
Oh my god, that's I want to buy every Disney prop merchandise from the store of a cute plushie of Jason holding his machine. I want that in my life.
Yeah. Oh man.
Okay, and as for Freddy, okay, we're gonna have to have the dream sequence be like very flowery and very colorful, kind of like that scene where you have the pyro from Team Fortress 2 when he has that imagination of what's going on in his mind, where everything's all sunshine and rainbows while he's burning everybody. I want that to happen.
Or hey, if it's gonna be Disney, why don't we go back to the classics and have the dream sequences be like those asset sequences that you saw in classic Disney animation, where color animation was just becoming a big thing. So they had to show off how bright and colorful everything was, and it's just like being on drugs.
Pink elephants on parade.
Also, forgot to mention.
Yes.
I forgot to mention that I got my new Live and Wired mug in the mail. Not today, like a while back. But here it is.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful mug.
Looks great.
If you put hot stuff in it, it says Live and Wired, okay?
Which you did not do.
Well, I did, but not right now. I've been sitting here for 2 hours. Well, an hour and 48 minutes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've been here for an hour and 48 minutes, and we barely talked about it. So that's what you do,
And yet it seems like the episode has been a hit with people. We've had a lot of comments. We've had a lot of donations. I mean, so far, seems like it's working. So, next topic.
Maintaining about 100 viewers. It's not the greatest the show's done, but certainly not the worst, and that's a lot better than I thought it was going to do, considering how YouTube's acting with the summer of Jackie Chan. But...
$2 comment from Motorcycle U. Jason versus Predators versus Clowns.
Clowns win. Nothing can defeat the clowns.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm with Decker. The clowns win.
The clowns will win.
Maybe I'm a little insane right now, but nothing can defeat the
now,
clowns.
as in opposed to not later.
All right, so let's see what's next. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. The other thing that's going to happen, the Disney lineup, because of course we have to talk about that. So let's discuss about the next set of properties now that Fox owns the rights to Disney.
I think you need
Let's
that the
see.
other way around. But
I mean, Disney owns the rights to Fox. That's what I'm sorry. Okay. Disney will reportedly continue the Planet of the Apes series.
Is that still going?
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
I think Decker should have this one if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead. It's his turn anyway.
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay, I guess that makes sense. It all works out then.
yeah.
When word came out that the Walt Disney Company had plans to purchase 20th Century Fox and other entertainment assets from News Corp, many fans speculated about the future of franchises including Avatar, Aliens, Predator, and the X-Men. But there's also one more huge franchise Disney has control of that will continue on in some form in the future. Some form, oh god. Oh god. We are going to have the Planet of the Apes musical. It's happening.
Oh my God, I was wrong.
He can
It
talk,
was
he can
a
talk, he can talk, he can
all
talk. I can sing!
So we're gonna have that Dr. Zaius intro that was.
I cut in a bit there, Patricia.
I said, are we gonna have that Dr. Zaius?
Well, that's the part that I heard before it cut again, so...
The Dr. Zaius intro from The Simpsons. Are we gonna have...
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
we got enough of it that time. yes,
Right.
that'll be
Dr.
okay.
Zaius, Dr. Zaius. Dr. Zaius, Dr. Zaius.
Whoa,
Dr.
Dr. Zaius.
Oh, Dr. Zaius.
Dr. Zaius, Dr. Zaius. During Bob Iger's shareholder meeting for Disney investors earlier today, the CEO made it clear that they plan to continue their current Planet of the Apes prequel series for the foreseeable future. Well, isn't it? It's not. Is it prequel anymore? Like, aren't they up to the part where the series starts originally? The last movie in the franchise, War for the Planet of the Apes, helped cement filmmaker Matt Reeves as one of the brightest talents working on the franchise films today. He now has the job of plotting Bruce Wayne's next big screen adventure with The Batman. Disney's boss reiterated what was already said earlier this year when Fox studio exec Emma Watts said they had plans for big franchises, including Planet of the Apes, though they did not announce any new movies. There's also plans for a new Home Alone reboot that will be home to the Disney Plus streaming service, as well as other Fox franchises like Cheaper by the Dozen, Night at the Museum, and Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Disney has not offered a timeline for any of these projects, but they are committed to keeping the franchises going for the foreseeable future. That's great. That's lovely. That's wonderful. That makes me feel so pleased.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm calm.
I hope you are.
Hell no.
Because otherwise we wouldn't... I know you're not. So, what's the Twitter poll looking like?
Darth Necrosis says, oh god, Simpsons really did predict the Planet of the Apes musical. Oh, boy.
It's amazing how many things about The Simpsons turned out to be prophetic. You know, just go back and watch the early
7 minutes
episodes.
left on the Live and Wired poll.
Go back and watch the early episodes of The Simpsons, then just look at things that have happened since then, and you're like, wow, they were right about so many things.
So a lot of it's kind of stretching it, though, in my opinion. But I don't...
But they have been right so far. It's been crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got a new super chat here. Motorcycle US dropped $2 saying, those were movie ideas, guys. Which watch? Well, which were movie ideas? Where? Which what? Those are movie ideas. Those are... Oh, okay. Jason versus Predators. Predators versus Clowns.
Oh.
Okay, which would we watch? Jason versus Predators or Predators versus Clowns? I think it would be a very interesting movie for Predators versus Clowns. They're both from space. They both hunt people.
Mm-hmm.
They have different techniques. But they're both high-tech human hunters.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it.
Yes.
It's just that one wants to rip out your spine, and the other wants to turn you into cotton.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. At least the clowns are there for hunting for food. Yeah, give them that.
Mm.
The Predators just hunting for sport. Or for spinal fluid to evolve themselves. Could be that.
Oh, in suburbia, no less.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go over to our next set of news. So let's go into a happier territory because I think we've had enough with Disney for one day.
Blah, blah,
But
blah,
don't worry.
blah.
But don't worry, they'll be back. Okay, so let's talk about an upcoming documentary. This ought to be really interesting, by the way. So, let's see. An upcoming documentary called Direct to Video, a documentary discussing about the straight to video horror movies from the 90s. Filmmaker Dustin Ferguson is shining the spotlights of 90s horror in a new documentary, specifically all the horror gems that were released direct to video throughout the 1990s. Direct to video, straight to video horror of the 90s will feature exclusive interviews with Clint Howard, Ice Cream Man, Lloyd Kaufman from Trauma, Jeff Burr, Puppet Master 4 and 5, Kevin Tenney from Witchboard, Bobby Ray Schaefer from Psycho Cop Returns, Jim Wynorski, Hard to Die, and almost 24 more industry regulars who made an impact in the documentary is set to premiere this October on the Monster Channel and is coming soon to SoulCal Cinema Studios on. You can check out the first
You mean
trailer
that
below.
you mean the Monster Channel actually has like horror movies and stuff on it?
I can assume it's the case.
I thought it was a TV channel devoted to energy drinks. Damn it!
Oh well. So let's take a look to see what the documentary poster looks like, since we can't watch the trailer because of copyright. So
No, I highly recommend watching the trailer. I mean, it's kind of rough around the edges, but you see a lot of really interesting faces, and you get I get the feeling that there's going to be some interesting little insights. And if you ever want to hear someone talk about how fun it is to score a movie while smoking weed, that's the place to go.
Mm-hmm. Direct to video, straight to video horror from the 90s. Schlocumentary by Dustin Ferguson. Schlocumentary. What a name.
I like that. That's my new favorite word.
Schlocumentary.
Oh, boy.
All right, so let's go over to our next set of news. So, Creepy, I want him to read because we were talking about like Disney buying the rights to everything nowadays, but we have to attend to one that is purchased recently by Viacom, because we actually read in one of the many scrapped Fox projects that there was going to be a Garfield movie by Mark Dindal, but that's not going to happen because the one who purchased the rights to Garfield is Viacom, and apparently we're going to be getting a new Garfield series on Nickelodeon. So, go ahead, Creepy. Read it away.
Okay. Garfield, the lasagna-loving comic strip feline, I'm pretty sure we already knew that, but thank you, has a new owner. So I guess John Arbuckle has joined...
John Arbuckle is like, okay, fuck it. You're going into the shelter. Hope someone picks you up.
Well, this got dark right off the bat. The Lazy Cat has, for more than 40 years, been the property of owner John Arbuckle, a socially awkward fellow who must indulge his pet's debilitating laziness and constant sarcasm. But in weeks to come, the character will become one more element in Viacom's vast Nickelodeon portfolio of intellectual property, taking his place alongside SpongeBob SquarePants, Dora the Explorer, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Although this would not be the first time that Garfield and the Ninja Turtles collaborated on something together, because those of us who are old enough to remember will tell you about Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue, where where Garfield and the Ninja Turtles teamed up to talk about drugs.
Oh, God.
Gotta remember that classic.
Yeah. Viacom has entered into a definitive agreement to acquire Paws Inc., the entity that holds all global intellectual property rights to both Garfield as well as U.S. Acres. Now, to pause this really quickly, I'm one of the people who actually liked U.S. Acres as much as I did Garfield. Garfield, had a lot of snark and wit to it, but U.S. Acres had more characters, so there was more stuff going on. You had all these different personalities that were bouncing off one another. But I would like to see U.S. Acres come back along with Garfield in a series. So there's that.
Yeah, when was the last time that US around?
When the first Garfield and Friends aired on CBS in the late 80s and throughout like halfway through the 90s. I think the last season of Garfield and Friends aired in like it came to an end in the spring of 96, I want to say.
Wow, so we're talking about like over 20 years since we've seen the likes of, Orson, Roy, Nord, Sheldon,
Right.
and all those characters. So, wow.
Right.
We have a $2 comment from Motorcycle US, and sorry, too good to pass up. Xenomorph Clown
So that'd be like the Pred Alien, except it'd be a. What would a xenomorph killer clown merge
I don't even
word
want to think of.
be?
I don't want to think about it.
Mhm. Another U.S. Acres, another Jim Davis creation, including corresponding rights-related content, consumer products, and location-based experiences.
I had a hard time thinking about it because like xenomorphs never have hair, they don't have noses. We don't really see the clown body too much because they have those baggy ass clothes. So what exactly would a xeno clown look like?
You do realize that someone's going to draw this now, right?
Oh, I am hoping for it because I need an answer.
Continue reading.
Yes.
Okay. The acquisition is expected to close in the upcoming weeks. Financial terms were not disclosed, but the character is said to generate millions of dollars a year in merchandise alone. I'm delighted that Garfield is going to be placed in the capable hands of the folks at Nick, said Jim Davis, the character's creator, in a prepared statement. That doesn't sound suspicious. They know how to entertain will be great stewards for the franchise. I am also excited to continue to do the thing that gets me out of bed every morning, the comic strip. All right. I thought he wasn't drawing that anymore. Oh well. The deal is likely to be costly. Iconic's brand group in 2010 bought an 80% stake in Charles Schultz's Peanuts from the company known as EW Scripts for $175 million. The Schultz family purchased a 20% stake as part of that price. The deal came a decade after the creator had passed away and ceased making the daily popular strip. I remember that. It happened in year 2000. Like, he announced his retirement, that he was going to not draw the strip anymore. They still ran, peanut strips in the newspapers, but they were like reprints of old ones. And then, like a few months later, Charles Schultz was dead. Anyway, Iconics in 2017 sold Peanuts and Strawberry Shortcake rights to DHX Group for $345 million in cash. In May of last year, Sony bought a 39% stake in the property from DHX for $141 million. Now that we're all done hearing about how much more rich all these companies are than us, Nickelodeon is interested in expanding its rights to use outside properties enjoyed by young customers. In the recent past, for example, the Kid Media outlet has acquired rights to develop series featuring Paddington, the popular British bear, and characters from the recent spate of Lego movies. The company is airing Ryan's Mystery Playdate, a series with the young YouTube influencer Ryan, the central figure in the online series Ryan Toy Reviews, and also launching an animated Star Trek series, because that worked out so well the first time. In an era where kids are prone to binge watching their way through one series and moving quickly onto something else, kids' outlets need to expand their content library, said Nickelodeon's top executive in a recent interview. I think today we need to make a volume of quality franchises, Nickelodeon president Brian Robbins told Variety in February. We need to keep a constant number of new shows coming and not necessarily make one show with 80 episodes. Nickelodeon plans to develop a new Garfield animated television series. The global merchandising rights related to the character, including current licenses, will be managed by Viacom, Nickelodeon Consumer Products. Garfield is a global evergreen franchise that is a natural fit with Nickelodeon and our portfolio of iconic properties. With fans around the globe that span both kids and adults, we are excited to ignite Garfield into a multi-generational consumer products juggernaut, said Pam Kaufman, the unit's president. So basically, they're begging everyone to buy their stuff. Typical Nickelodeon. Although I will say that, honestly, this actually does weirdly seem like it would fit. Nickelodeon and Garfield, it doesn't seem like too big of a stretch for me.
Yeah, for sure. And, they've done really well with it. I'm actually curious to see. It'll definitely be a lot better than the Garfield
I don't
CGI
understand
show.
why your microphone insists on cutting out only the important parts. They did really well with... I'm very interested to see... What?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I tried watching the Garfield CGI show, the Garfield show, and oh man, was it bad.
Also, the Live and Wired poll has completed.
All right.
If you could save just one of the 4 possible put in the Twitter poll of the 250 Fox films acted by Disney, which would you choose? The cell phone, of course. Now,
the cell phone movie.
Out of the 4, we had 69 votes. Giggity. And at 12%, the least people are interested in saving the prequel to Die Hard, McClane. At 17%, we have Assassin's Creed 2, which is kind of interesting considering there was the one, right? But scoring higher than that for the amount of people that actually want to see it rescued was The Boogeyman, coming in at 22%.
Oh.
And at nearly half the vote, Flash Gordon comes in number 1 with 49%.
Wow.
Kat comments that they need Flash Gordon there in silver underwear. There's a lot of Flash Gordon love in the replies to this tweet. Killer B13 has a lovely gif of Flash Gordon riding by the sunset or sunrise. I'm not sure. There's an atmosphere behind him, and he's riding! Looks badass.
And of course, Claude Gaines was the Invisible Man.
And Nick Kahoe was like, I'd like to say the Alien and Predator franchises are going Disney reboots. Like, it's the only one not talking about Flash Gordon.
Now people are talking about Heathcliff.
Oh.
I didn't get into Heathcliff as much as I did Garfield. I actually thought the Heathcliff comic strips were better than the TV series.
I have no idea about anything.
Although I do remember that the Heathcliff TV show, animated series, theme song was very catchy.
Yeah, it was very catchy.
Heathcliff, Heathcliff, no one should. Terrifies the neighborhood. But Heathcliff just won't be undone. Playing pranks on everyone.
Yes, I remember that one.
And then they had that humming interlude where they just went,
Yeah, I don't know what it's in reference to, but Teddy Ruxpin said Full Moon Entertainment, and we have something to say about that.
That we do, actually, yes. I'm actually going to pull it out right now, so let me see if I can find it. Here it is. I got it. We do have something involving with Full Moon Entertainment that we talk about, so let's see if I can find it. There we go. Full Moon features launches horror fans will die for. So, Creepy, it's your turn this time.
Okay.
Or, no, wait, no. I'm sorry, it's Decker's turn. You already read the Garfield.
Yeah, that's right, I did. Okay.
So, sorry. Go ahead, Decker.
Dang it, I don't know how to read. I'm faking it this whole time.
Too bad.
For those of you who enjoy consuming your horror on the smallest of screens, the folks at Full Moon Features have launched a new app phone-addicted horror fans will die for. Especially fans of Charles Band. Here's the full scoop from this morning's press release. Full Moon is excited to announce a new chapter in their ever-evolving history in genre entertainment. Introducing the Full Moon Features, www.fullmoonfeatures.com channel and app, which is now currently available on all streaming devices. iOS, Google Play, Amazon Fire Stick, Xbox One, Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and all Microsoft devices. The Full Moon Features channel is a revamped successor to the company's previous streaming service, Full Moon Streaming, and delivers a wide array of films culled from the extensive Full Moon library of over 500 titles. Full Moon Features is your virtual ticket to mind-blowing horror, sci-fi, fantasy, and cult movie entertainment right at your fingertips 24 hours a day. Browse and stream hundreds of titles from the creature classics like the Puppet Master franchise, of which I've had several requests for a summer of it in this stream alone. Castle Freak, Evil Bong, which the second one was age-restricted for having drug paraphernalia. Subspecies, Blood Dolls, Tourist Trap, and Trancers. To Euro cult movies pulled from the legendary underground label like Lucio Fulci's Zombie and Dario Argento's Deep Red. To retro erotica gems from the Surrender Cinema Library like Femalien and The Calendar Girls, and vintage down and dirty exploitation oddities from the Something Weird video catalog. Full Moon Features will feature Full Moon, new weekly content, and VIP access to live streams of upcoming productions. Exclusive new feature films will also debut on the channel, including the much-anticipated Deadly 10 anthology. The first film of the gate will be the premiere of the Ouija's Halloween night on October 18th. Okay, that just fills me with confidence right there. Okay. The Ouija's Halloween. Okay.
I'm kind of so shocked that this hasn't ended up on your channel.
I'm just, like, I started with Evil Bong. I was like, hey, this is cool. I did Evil Bong 2. I'm like, hey, that sucked ass. I did Evil Bong 3. I'm like, that was a step up. I did Evil Bong 420. I'm like, hey, that was the worst ever. So I'm not liking the direction it's going. So hearing about the Ouija's Halloween night, I'm like, let me guess, a bunch of assholes are going to come around, sit down, play like they're smoking weed. In the meantime, a bunch of ladies with no tops on are just going to walk by the camera. It's going to be 20 minutes long, and that's going to be the movie. Is that it? Is that about right?
Well, I mean, I can believe that you would think that the sequel sucked because they didn't have Tommy attacking a cursed hookah with a chainsaw.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was clearly the draw, but there was still, the rest of the movie just put together was still better than what they came up with for the sequels. Even if you take Tommy Chong out, the first Evil Bong is still the best of them.
It also didn't have a bunch of stars playing tribal women.
Oh, they had the strip club, though. But the strippers killed people.
I thought that was zombie strippers.
No, that's another movie.
Okay.
But when you have your brassiere and it's got shark heads on it, and you've already offed two people with, like, your weird little bras that just make your tits kill people, you kind of see where this is going, but at the same time, I was like, I'll accept it. What a way to go.
I think the funniest part of this is just watching Patricia's face evolve.
It's like, what the hell is this guy? Why am I here with the... Oh. If it weren't for me, this whole place would just collapse, and this guy would just be sitting here talking about tits.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I just
want to remind you of our non-existent agreement, Patricia. If you go, you take me with.
Fair enough. All right, let's discuss about some really dumb stuff because
I've been doing that.
True. Let's discuss more dumb stuff. Okay, so you guys heard about the Area 50 run, the great Naruto run of Area 50, about how that was canceled?
They canceled it?
Yeah.
Is it because they found out that the guys guarding Area 51 shoot people?
Well, the guy who planned it actually has another idea, if you can believe it. So let me just actually pull it up to see what is his next idea able to celebrate Area 51. So, here we go. Alien 51, Storm Area 51 organizer throws Alien Stock Festival in Nevada desert. Yes. Alien stock, because...
like wood stock. I was thinking like you boil down an alien and get the juice from their bones. I'm hungry, yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's true. So, after more than 2 million people confirmed that they would show up to storm Area 51 as They Can't Stop All of Us, the creator of the Knowledge Book event is hoping to get people to Rachel, Nevada, the closest town to Area 51, for Alien Stock, an alien enthusiast fest. Maddie Roberts of Bakersfield, California, created the Storm Area 51 They Can't Stop All event to take place on September 20th as a joke. but the response of people wanting to see them aliens has been overwhelming.
And that's probably going to mean that it's still going to keep going, even though he's got the alien Woodstock idea instead. I'm pretty sure there's still going to be people rushing Area 51.
Yeah. I never foresaw this happening to me at all. Robert 23 ABC News. I have never done anything that has reached this scale of attention, and it's completely surreal and it's really cool. Robert is hopeful that he can take the viral fame and turn it into
Oh
an
god.
annual event.
John Washburn said, Creepy would be a Naruto runner, Decker would be a Kyle, and Patricia would be a Karen.
Karen?
Oh boy.
I don't understand. What does that mean?
It's not important.
Okay. Roberts is hopeful that his viral fame could turn into an annual event in Rachel, uptown with a population of 54, according to the 2010 census, complete with camping, music, art installations, and surprising performances. I want to make this something as positive, enjoyable, safe, and profitable for the rural area of Nevada, says.
You know, what they gotta do is they gotta do like they did in Guitar Hero 2, have someone play Freebird, and if they do it well enough, the aliens will come down to watch the show.
On Friday, Aliens announced the festival is set to take place around September 19th through the 22nd, just 27 miles away from the highly classified United States Air Force facility, Area 51. Roberts is hopeful that he will receive enough donations and sponsors that he'll keep the event admission. Profits would be fun, but I don't want to be seen as a profit-driven guy. I don't care about the money aspect. I never intended this to be a real thing. Now I just want to make it fun, and I think capitalizing on it and making a ton of money just ruins the idea of the grassroots idea of it. Yeah, consider can you basically compare Woodstock 69 to Woodstock 99, and you'll see the major difference. We don't want it to, and that is precisely the reason 29 canceled.
Well, I mean, there was also the whole thing where oh boy, did they go absolutely crazy with the charging for every kind of amenity, like the bathrooms you had to pay for, the water you had to pay for. The water was $8 in like the early 2000s, and yeah, there was a little riot thing that resulted in that one Woodstock. It wasn't very pretty.
That's true. Yeah. Rachel, Nevada's website reads, with the social media attention, this event is clarify a few points of those not familiar with the area. Other than the Little Inn, a small bar slash restaurant slash motel, there are no services in Rachel. There's no gas and there's no store. The site noted that the nearest gas station is 50 miles away and that the inn is completely booked for the weekend of Aliens. If you're planning on attending the event, you must be experienced camping, hiking, and surviving in a harsh desert environment and have a vehicle in good shape. You must be prepared to be completely on your own with your food, water, gas, etc. We expect cell service, and the internet to be offline. Expect daytimes high in the 80s and night times low in the 40s. It is not uncommon to go below freezing at night in late. According to Alien Stock's website, the landowners and Rachel's are totally on board. So for any of you guys who are interested, then start planning because September is right around.
Yeah. We did actually have a different plan for September, though, right?
Yes, we're still doing that.
So I don't know what I'm hoping. I haven't checked the file yet, but I am hoping that the file I was putting together for that is intact, because I know the file I had of just a little, like, I went down the rules list and I color-coded everything to make it a lot easier to read, and ding, 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 this is all attached to this is attached to that, check between this and that, okay, good. That file just got completely deleted, except for the fact that it existed, and it was still the same name, it's just it was only 7 bytes, and it had nothing in it.
Mm-hmm.
Similar with my file holding my summer schedule, also, it still existed, it had the same name, but it was completely empty, it was 7 bytes in size.
Bummer.
So, do you need me to send you the file that you sent to me back?
No. I have the movie. I have the. If I need to rip the movie, I got that. I can check the internet to find the rules again and start working on the thing again. It's just frustrating that during the Windows has been having a lot of updates recently because they found some pretty massive security problems that have been in there for decades. So they're doing a whole bunch of updates right now, and my desktop is old as the hills, and it had it was updating for like 4 hours one day, and when it got back, a lot of my files were kind of messed up, just weirdly and randomly. Like I have to log into everything again. My cookie clicker save got destroyed.
I know how much that's important.
Fortunately, I did have a backup, but it was from last October.
Mm-hmm.
But
I do have.
Those files, they were just text files. I had been opening and saving and doing stuff in that, and those just wiped for some inexplicable reason. I think they were open at the time, but they shouldn't have just deleted everything and saved it as not blank, right?
I do have one thing. I neglected to bring this up before we got started because we were all kind of getting here at the very last minute for this episode. So I didn't bring this up before the show started going live because it was live instead of being dead.
Mm-hmm.
But there is some bit of we talked about before, and there's been some new development on it. I was wondering if I could bring that up real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
How do I do the?
If you're not in full screen, there's an option to share screens. If you are full screen, for some reason, the option isn't there.
Yeah, turn on screen share.
Okay. Share. There we go. I think coming through now.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
Whoop. There we go. I clicked the wrong thing. I clicked to the BRB, and it was like, oops.
Okay. The Fear Street movie, which is now a trilogy, just found its doomed teenager. Fear
Yay!
Street. Hooray! We have victims. Fear Street, the young adult horror series we read after Goosebumps, but before Christopher Pike, is being made into not one, but 3 movies, Collider reports. The trilogy will reportedly follow 2 gay teenagers trying to navigate their rocky relationship when they're targeted by the crazy horrors of their small town, Shadyside, the fictional Ohio where Arthur R.L. Stein often staged his tale. Today, the actresses at the helm were revealed to be Disney Channel alumna Kiana Maderia and Olivia Welch, who appeared on episodes of Agent Carter and Modern Family.
Mm-hmm.
For Collider, Maderia and Welch will each be playing 2 different characters, one in the mid-90s and one in the 1800s, when it's noted gay women faced even greater adversity and repercussion. No duh. The shifting timelines, fans of the series may recall, was a device often cleverly used by Stein. Welch remembers the Betrayals trilogy. Actually, yeah, he liked to do that a lot. Leading the charge are the 2 acclaimed indie talents in Honeymoons, Leah Janiak, and prolific filmmaker Alan Ross Perry, on the verge of releasing Her Smell, one of our favorite flicks from last year's Toronto's International Film Festival.
That doesn't sound good when you say it that way.
No, it really doesn't. Janiak spearheaded a writer's room for the films, one that may or may not have featured Stranger Things writer Kate Teffrey. That's some good talent right there. Though no release date is set. Actually, there has been a release date set, tentatively sometime in the summer of next year. So there's that. 20th Century plans to release the 3 movies in close proximity to each other. Considering Stein rarely made us wait for more than a month for it, that's more than fitting. There's also this right here. It's being made into a movie. This really wasn't the important part. The important part was down here. Hold on. Does not have an exact date for when it will hit the theaters, but currently it looks like 2010. I think they mean 2020.
They're going to invent time travel. We will have fond memories of this movie they are making.
Right. That's true. But
yes, around the same time of...
It may very well be released back in 2020. Also, I have to stop for a moment and appreciate this. Because Fear Street novels were kind of like you have to have been there and have to have been a fan of this franchise. The novels had covers that were like something out of an old 80s horror movie, and they always
Creepy?
had.
You have to turn off the screen share.
Oh, thank you. Sorry.
You turn on your camera.
Stop
There you
using. Yeah.
And turn on your camera.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm
Now,
good at this.
all right. So yeah, the covers. Continue.
Yeah, like all of them they all looked like old horror movie covers, and they always had some tagline, like the one that was in the article. It began as a prank, but it ended in murder. It's like there was always something, and it's if you were a fan of the series, you could always come up with one yourself. If
So
you
I
didn't
just
like
imagine the guy just poking the dead body with a stick, like, "Hey, come on, it's just a prank, bro."
I want to say that actually happened in a novel in one of the stories, but
Oh
yeah,
boy.
oh yeah.
So Mad Max 665 is now following on Mixer. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you for giving me the chance to talk about that again, and
Oh yeah, sure.
and for putting up with my ineptitude with screen share.
No problem at all. All right, let's go over to some more stuff. We got some video stuff that has been out for the past week. The new reveals of the characters from Pokemon Sword and Shield. We now know what some of the Galarian Pokemon look like. We have a view of Galarian Weezing and Galarian Zigzagoon. So let's take a look into that and see what information we can learn from it.
Wheezing? They went with wheezing.
It looks
That was
really
a first
cool, by the way.
generation Pokemon. It's an evolution of coughing.
Mm-hmm. All right, so go ahead, Decker.
Okay. As promised just a couple of days ago, new information has been released concerning the upcoming Pokemon Sword and Shield for Nintendo Switch. You can see the announcement for yourself in the video above. Among them are new Galarian forms of fan-favorite monsters, a new form-changing Pokemon, new rivals, and an introduction to the game's rival team, Team Yell. Team Yell? Team Yell.
Yes,
As opposed
Team
to
Yell.
Why not just Team Tantrum? Just
Team Tantrum.
okay. You can get a closer look at the Galarian forms, which appear to be just like Pokemon Sun and Moon's Alolan forms below. Weezing, Zigzagoon, and Linoone were all shown off, as well as a brand new evolution of the family called Obstagoon. As it happens, Obstagoon can only evolve from a Galarian Linoone.
Yeah, so let me see if I can actually click on the pictures. So yes, I can. So this is our Galarian Weezing as a type, ability to levitate and question mark.
Oh, they add fairy type to the poison. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And mustache and beard and top hats.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, since the Galarian based on the UK, it does make a lot of sense that it would have the top hat and the mustache and the references to the
Shall
smoke.
pollute a little bit here, shall we? Ah, yes, quite.
Yes, quite indeed. Okay, so we have the Galarian Zigzagoon ability pickup / gluttony.
Okay, he looks like a regular Zigzagoon, except instead of brown and light brown, he's white and black, and he's got stars over his eyes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now we have the Galarian Linoone.
Still got the stars. Now it got a long tongue, like Gene Simmons.
Speaking of Gene Simmons, Obstagoon.
Okay, that is just Gene Simmons, the Pokemon.
Yeah, that's just Gene Simmons Pokemon.
It's not. It's funny that you mentioned that because Gene Simmons himself actually noticed this Pokemon, and he actually had an interview with somebody saying, apparently there's a Pokemon made after me, and my kids and we grew up with Pokemon, and we actually do like the fact that there's a Pokemon that is made from me. So he actually likes it, as opposed to some people who want to sue Pokemon for saying that they created them a monster that is part of the devil. I'm not gonna say who it is, but for Pokemon fans, you know exactly who it is.
Yeah. I'm like, and then there's the fact that like
Morpeko, the form-changing Pokemon. The form-changing Pokemon is called Morpeko. Amazingly, it has a full belly mode and a hangry mode. Wow.
Yes, hangry.
Okay, so it's either contently well-fed, or it's in cat in the morning when the food bowl is empty mode.
Yes.
Oh man.
Okay.
New rivals.
Bade and Marine. Or Marnie.
Yeah.
I'm not dyslexic, you are. Bed and Marnie have appeared as new rivals. Both were only shown for the briefest of moments, so we're sure there's plenty still to learn about each of them. I'm guessing that they're going to turn out to actually be your friends like all the new Pokemon games, and they're not going to be nearly as good of a rival because, I don't know, they just don't seem to be that interested in actually telling you to go fuck yourself.
Although Marty may be a close possibility, that would probably be the case.
Marnie, just pop your bike tires and just throw your bike off the cliff into the river and just like, yeah, deal with it. I'm going to go join Team Yell.
Sure.
It would appear the new rival team on the block is Team Yell. Described as being Marnie's wild fans, Team Yell appears to use the new Galarian Pokemon in battle. We're really digging the goth punk vibes going on here, even if they do sound like a total nightmare.
Yeah, if you actually take a listen to the what they sound like in the trailers,
it's what?
It's loud.
Oh, that's just wonderful. Here, we're going to have a very annoying team for you to play against for a good 80 hours. Enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have a body pillow?
No, it's a poster of Marnie.
Why does it look like a body pillow?
Like, I thought poster too at first, but okay, maybe I can understand it might be mistaken for a body pillow. I can believe that Decker would mistake it for a body pillow.
Oh, geez.
I mean, I only have a few of them. Why the site? Okay.
I'm looking forward to this, by the way. All right, that's pretty much it for now.
Okay.
I know a lot of people are really disappointed of this game because they deck, but from all the stuff that I've been seeing so far, I want to play it.
The lack of the national decks doesn't break my heart too much, considering several new generations of Pokemon, especially lately, just haven't really had all of the Pokemon available. But I think this is the first time that you couldn't even trade them in from previous games, so that kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still going to be a lot of them. I'm just now concerned about, am I going to be able to stand listening to Team Yell for a campaign?
Mm-hmm. Your guess is as good as mine.
All right.
Let me see if there's any more news. We got we don't have a lot of time, so let's just quickly go through these bit of news articles. So let me see if I can. Ooh, okay, I got one. The Mortal Kombat movie that's going to be coming. They actually do have people casted as some of the
that
characters.
Yeah. You said Mortal Kombat movie, and I got terrified for a second.
No, I'm talking about the other Mortal Kombat movie, the newer one.
Right.
All right. It's my turn this time, so I'll read this one. Okay. The upcoming Mortal Kombat movie, a new stab at the video game licensed in movie form in a few decades after it last saw theatrical success, is currently eyeballing production. Before you start filming, you need a cast, and the movie just grabbed a few key roles. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Liu Kang, Raiden, Melina, and Jax have been cast. Liu Kang is being played by Ludi Lim, who played Zack in the 2017 Power Rangers reboot, and Merc in Aquaman. Supergirl actor Mikad Brooks is playing Jax, while Thor Ragnarok's Tadanobu Asano is in negotiations to play his role. Melina will be played by newcomer Sissy Stringer. The movie already has The Raid, Joe Towson playing Sub-Zero. In addition, the movie's screenwriter confirmed that the movie will earn an R rating with fame. So let me see if there's any more new information on The Hollywood Reporter. Well, at least we know what the actors look like who are going to be playing as the characters. So there's our Liu Kang, there's our Jax, and there's our... let me see if there's anybody else. Let's see. James Wan and...
Why does Melina not have giant razor teeth?
I'm sure they'll add that in the CGI, of course.
No, you gotta just find a good, decent actress with the Melina face already and just start from there.
Sorry,
I could be Melina.
Can you be Melina, or is it that you want to be Melina?
I just really like the purple leotard.
and the size.
Which would fit Decker just fine.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. No new information as far as 2021 release. So, yeah, that's pretty much it as far as information. So more about it, but I just hope it's a better improvement over the Mortal Kombat movie that we got last time in theaters, Armageddon. Never forget. Never forget.
But they technically had like all the different. They had animalities. That's from the games.
That was in the third game.
Yeah, but it was also an Annihilation. They did animality.
Uh, right.
Is this another one of
Yeah.
Nightwolf craziness?
It's actually curious. I'm actually curious about like which story are they going to adapt? Are they going to adapt from the classic Mortal Kombat games or the newer one?
I would assume newer ones because they did the classics before. The classics were, you had the first movie actually was like the first instance of anyone saying, "Hey, they made a movie based on video games and it didn't suck." And then they corrected that with Annihilation. But then the games themselves went about and just said, "Okay, the story's getting way too damn convoluted. Reset the world. Start this over."
Mm-hmm.
So I would assume that a newer movie would follow the stories established in the newer games. Which is still very similar to the older games, but a little more streamlined. Not quite as much. Outworld is, like, everywhere. And, like, everyone's died and come back at least 20 times each.
Just about. Being taken over by Shinnok or, Shang Tsung or somebody. All right, well, let's go over to our next bit of news. It's Creepy's turn, by the way, and this one is it's long overdue that this person got some attention. So we are going to have an upcoming biography written by Elvira herself, Cassandra Peterson. So here you go, Creepy.
You know me so well.
I know.
Announced in her official newsletter this week, Cassandra Peterson, or Elvira, Mistress of the Dark if you prefer, yes I do, is currently hard at work on a brand new autobiography. "I'm busier than ever writing away on my autobiography," Peterson revealed. "I now have a deadline from my publishers, so no more messing around. My book is due at the end of February, so we can have a Halloween 2020 release."
And yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing much more to say about it. It's pretty short, but yeah, finally, it's longer because she's had a pretty long career in focusing on her own TV show, her own set of movies, highlighting B movies in her own in her own specials. So yeah,
There's
she's
also
like
a lot of... Oh, sorry, go on.
she's had a lot of she's had a lot of fans over the years that got into horror movies because of her.
Right. There's also all the stuff she did before she became Elvira, before she was known as that. She has a pretty extensive background in improvisational theater. That was what she was doing when she was approached to, because they basically just came to her and said, "Look, we want this kind of horror hostess sort of thing, so we'll see what you can come up." And so she came out and was like acting like Morticia Adams if she was this bubbly airheaded valley girl sort of thing. And they loved it so much that they were just like, "We want you to do that." And she was like just that, like exactly that. And she was like, yes, that. And she said in an interview years later that she had wondered for a long time where exactly the character came from, like in her head. And then finally it hit her that was basically her as a 17-year-old girl. She was basically, she was just this odd, this weird kid who would rather stay at home and watch horror movies and make jokes about it while it was playing, then go out on dates, and stuff like that. And she said that was me as a kid. I was just this snarky, slightly snarky, little bit airheaded, but loved horror movies, and I'd rather stay home and watch those than than go out and go somewhere. And yeah, like she's actually had a pretty adventurous life way before she ever started doing the character Elvira. So just some of the stuff I've read about her that she's done and that the places she's worked in, are pretty fascinating, and I'd love to know more. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. And I've been a fan of hers since I was a little kid. I didn't get to see her as much as I wanted to growing up because of the household that I lived in, but like just I always found anything that where she had made an appearance or something like that, it was always a joy to me. And she did this. She was at the Nob Hill Theater, I think it was, several years ago in San Francisco, and she did like a special Halloween appearance where she sang, of all things, Ricky Martin's "Livin' La Vida Loca."
Really?
Really. So yeah, that was a thing that happened. I have the link somewhere in my YouTube favorites, so
I'm trying to figure. I thought there was something on the things that we had listed to talk about that I was sort of opinionated on, but I can't figure out what it was.
You opinionated? Really?
Yeah, believe it or not, I had some opinionators.
I'm actually curious because with Elvira, I know that she goes to a lot of horror conventions, and she still, you know, plays as the character. I think that she even mentioned about that she wasn't planning on retiring the character anytime soon, or maybe she was going to retire her in the following year or something. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's actually really interesting. Like she was probably doing, was it before or after Mystery Science Theater 3000 of the making fun of horror movies?
I think before.
She came before MS.
Although Mystery Science Theater 3000, technically it's like there's a time it got popular, then there's the beginning of its existence, and it was around for quite a bit, but I still think Elvira probably predates it.
No, I'm talking about like who fun of the horror movies thing first, not who came first.
Yeah. Well, there was a horror hostess named Vampira,
Yeah.
who was like the 50s, I think the 60s and 70s, and she retired, and that was what I believe that's what kickstarted the whole search for a new horror movie hostess, a hostess for a horror movie show, and which led to the creation of Elvira. But Elvira was like 80, 81, something like that.
Yeah.
MST3K, the first season of MST3K aired in, I want to say 88, 89, something
yes, it
like
did.
that. Right. So it didn't get popular until the 90s, but even with that in mind, Elvira, the idea of a hostess that was, making commentary on horror movies and being sarcastic and so forth, that was more of Elvira's thing, because Vampira was more just the straight up spooky hostess, but didn't really have much in the way of snark or wit. She was just kind of there at the beginning and the end to introduce the movie and then close things out.
True. Yeah, it's I believe that the end of the Ed, but like what happened to the character, the actors afterwards, talking about like after like around the 70s or 80s when Cassandra Peterson created the Elvira character, she actually sued Cassandra for stealing her shtick, Vampira, thinking that you stole my idea. But I think that she lost the case.
She did. It did go to court, but the court decided that making something like that is similar to another character is not the same thing as stealing the character itself. Elvira and Vampira had something in common in that they both were horror movie hostesses and they both wore black. But that was really
And their names end in Ra.
and the names end in Ra. But other than, I mean, but that was really the closest thing. They were nothing at all like each other. Vampira was more like, and even Vampira says that the inspiration for her character came from Morticia Addams. So Vampira was quieter, more serious, more of an elegant vampire queen. Elvira is kind of like what happens if Morticia was born as Dolly Parton trailer trash. So
Amazing.
yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot that you can call Elvira, but goth is not really quite the right word. I mean, she fits, like, in terms of dress. Yes, I can see where the idea comes, but she does not have the stereotypical goth personality. She is way too upbeat and too much of a snarker and too much of a joker to really fit the goth archetype. But I mean, as goth culture has evolved, there's also what people call the perky goth, someone who is upbeat and cheerful, but still, is interested, has a fascination with the macabre and dresses in black and the whole aesthetic and everything like that. So
That's true.
mm-hmm.
Were you able to find your article, Dick?
No.
Oh, well, we're about the 15-minute mark anyway,
Yeah.
so I guess we better read
We-
off our. Oh, you found it?
No. I was
Oh.
agreeing with you on
Oh, yeah. All right, so we're at the 15-minute mark, so it's time for the. As you could expect.
Of course.
All right, so LGBTQ YouTubers are suing YouTube over alleged discrimination. God bless YouTube. Just why? All right, so Decker, it's your turn.
A group of YouTube creators is suing YouTube for allegedly discriminating against their LGBTQ-focused videos by suppressing recommendations and making it difficult to earn ad revenue. The lawsuit alleges that YouTube uses unlawful content regulation, distribution, and monetization practices that stigmatize, restrict, block, demonetize, and financially harm the LGBT plaintiffs and the greater LGBT community. The lawsuit also alleges that both YouTube's machine learning moderation tools and human reviewers unfairly target channels that have words such as gay, bisexual, or transgender in the title. YouTube is engaged in discriminatory, anti-competitive, and unlawful conduct that harms a protected class of persons under California law, the lawsuit states. It alleges that YouTube's actions have violated federal and California law around speech, discrimination, and false advertising. A YouTube spokesperson told The Verge that the company's policies have no notion in sexual orientation or gender identity, and our systems do not restrict or demonetize videos based on these factors or the inclusion of terms like gay or transgender. The complainants, including Brett Summers, Lindsay Armour, Chris Knight, Celso Dule, Cameron Stiho, Chrissy Chambers, and Chase Ross have spoken out about YouTube's alleged treatment of the LGBTQ creator community in the past. In June 2018, Ross accused YouTube of age-gating and demonetizing his videos simply because he used the term transgender in his video titles and metadata. YouTube's alleged discrimination pushed Ross to publish a lengthy video on the subject. I don't feel like people take us seriously, and it needs to change, Ross told The Verge at the time. YouTube really needs to start paying attention to the community. I don't feel like I belong in a platform that I and other LGBTQ plus individuals helped build. YouTube CEO Susan said just last week that YouTube does not automatically demonetize LGBTQ content. Well, I mean, yeah, it automatically demonetizes plenty of stuff. Some of it's going to be that. It's just it has an automatic demonetizer in it. It'll do that. Even if your intention is not that, it still does it. Anyway, there's no policies that say if you put certain words in a title, that will be demonetized. There's no policies, but that's how it's programmed. It's what it does. Still vlogger Alfie Days, we work incredibly hard to make sure that when our machines learn something, because a lot of decisions are made algorithmically, that our machines are fair. There shouldn't be any automatic demonetization. There's plenty of Jesus Christ! Oh. She also said that two of YouTube's biggest moderation tools, one that focuses on recommending videos and other that determines whether a video is appropriate for ads, operate independently. The systems, she added, are set up separately to ensure that the systems are fair. Does she have any idea how the damn things work? Still, she comments. Her comments come after years of frustration from the LGBTQ community. Many creators first voiced their concerns to the company in 2017, arguing that their content was seemingly hidden and demonetized. Just a couple of months later, YouTube found itself in another controversy after anti-LGBTQ ads started appearing on videos from LGBTQ creators. YouTube was recently embroiled in controversy after the company allowed conservative pundit Steven Crowder to continue uploading videos despite using his channel to make homophobic remarks against Fox journalist Carlos Manza in June, which the guy also named himself in his own Twitter thing, which makes it very confusing, but never mind! Despite finding language that was clearly hurtful, the videos, as posted, didn't violate our policies. The company tweeted a couple of days after Manza made his case public on Twitter. So, as an open platform, it's crucial for us to allow everyone, from creators to journalists to late-night TV hosts, to express their opinions within the scope of our policies. Read and follow-up tweets from YouTube. Opinions can be deeply offensive, but if they don't violate our policies, they'll remain on our site. YouTube revoked ad privileges on Crowder's channel, but the LGBTQ community, both on YouTube and with Google, YouTube's parent company, felt like executives didn't do enough. She later apologized to the community in an interview with Receipts partner Peter Kafka and the Code Conference. Okay, everyone is owned by The Verge, owns The Verge. Okay. I'm really, personally, very sorry, she said. YouTube has always been a home of so many LGBTQ creators, and that's why it was so emotional. I'm sorry. We've always wanted to openly support this community. I mean, I know some of the policies that were in place were before her time, but still... Okay, the creators who launched the lawsuit believe YouTube hasn't lived up to its words of support. The lawsuit states that YouTube's control and regulation of speech on YouTube has resulted in a chaotic cesspool where popular, compliant, top-quality, and protected LGBTQ+ content is restricted, stigmatized, and demonetized as shocking, inappropriate, offensive, and sexually explicit, while homophobic and racist hate-mongers run wild and are free to post vile and obscene content. That really aren't, but, I mean...
Yeah.
The thing, they demonetize everything. Everything. It's, I mean, yes, there are people who post pro-LGBTQ content that the automatic things just automatically demonetize. And there's people who post anti who don't get that. And there's people who post anti that do get that, and people that post pro that also don't get it. It's a crapshoot. That's how it's been forever.
I actually know someone who themselves, like, their whole thing on YouTube is that they are gay and that they review, they cover comic books. So yeah, this has been kind of unsettling at the very least.
Gay comic geek, I believe.
Gay comic geek, yes, and
I've seen a bit of his stuff, just a bit, and I've also seen a bit of his stuff, and well, I'm pretty sure that's not the part that's going on YouTube.
No.
So yeah, if he's just gay and reviewing comics, that's perfectly fine, like that.
Right.
But I'm also pretty sure that YouTube's automatic demonetization has caught quite a bit of that, just because gay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that this stream is demonetized right now. Let me check. It tends to be just automatically anyway. But
yeah, and there's also the fact that we are, at least some of us are acquainted with Zenith Will Rule, who is transgender, and she covers a whole bunch of topics from anime and video games, and she really good acquaintances with people such as Linkara and Diamond Hang and Vega and various other people from the former Channel Awesome community.
Right.
And she's like, she does her Disney debate podcast, and she does a whole bunch of other projects that a lot of people really like and tune into. Probably her most famous work is the History of One Piece retrospective, which has gotten millions of views. So there's also that.
Of course, I mean, it's really hard to tell how monetization is working anymore, because according to YouTube, my entire summer of Jackie Chan is monetized, and after being caught in copyright purgatory for a bit, but still, the CPM is lucky to hit 70 cents anymore. Oh, no,
Yeah.
The stream is not suitable for most advertisers. Request review. I have double-checked my video satisfied YouTube's advertiser-friendly guidelines. Though, it's still not done, but if they can determine that it's not suitable before it's even existing, I could determine that it's suitable before it's done. I don't sit down to say, hey, let's find some stuff that's not suitable for advertisers.
I've been doing that for pretty much every single one of my... And we're talking about DreamWorks movies. It's like, really? We're talking about a bunch of kids' movies, and you're going to say that this is not age-appropriate for kids? Like, really?
Mm.
Get your act together, YouTube. Seriously.
Fun. Space
I-
Cadet 3379 says, hi, what are you guys talking about? We're finishing up the show pretty much with the usual YouTube news, and as usual, it's just...
it's bad.
It's like YouTube's being sued by a coalition of LGBTQ plus creators who are saying that, hey, they have been... Their stuff is programmed in a way that it is automatically demonetizing LGBTQ content, and in California, that is a specifically protected group, so you can't do that. YouTube's based in California. A lot of these channels are based in California. This is against the law. And YouTube's saying, no, we don't. It's an algorithm. It doesn't discriminate. It just... It's like, your algorithms are broken as shit, YouTube. Everyone knows this. Stop pretending. Just please fix your shit.
YouTube needs an intervention.
Dear YouTube, we all care about you, and we want what's best for you.
Gochi Thriller 83 asks, is your Jackie Chan special still having problems? Every single video that's gone up at one point or another gets hit with a copyright claim. Rush Hour 2 wasn't hit with a copyright claim right away, but 11 hours after it went up, it was and blocked worldwide, and then that was a fun bit there, trying to get that fixed, but...
Yay.
Yay.
Yeah, it's just... It's YouTube. I'm trying to figure out. It's like, okay, I'm trying to get this stuff monetized and put it out, but still, like, the ad rates, to me, they look about as bad as they did during Adpocalypse, but it seems like I haven't heard a bunch of other YouTubers talking about that, so I'm wondering, is this really just happening to me? Because if so, fuck! I mean, how are your ad rates, Creepy?
I don't have any, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for pouring salt back into that wound.
Well, I had to feel better about myself somehow.
Jeez, man.
So, what's everyone doing?
Next thing you know, we're going to be kicking puppies so that you can be able to have...
Oh, boy.
Okay. Creepy, why don't you go first?
Oh, well, thank you. I have, hopefully within the next couple of days, I'll have the next Spider-Man review coming out. After that, we'll be going back to Batman. A lot of people have asked for that one. Kendall and I have watched the 3rd episode of Lex. He's still hating it.
So is his race going to be like...
Over on Twitch, Wolfwine says, now I know why Creepy messes with Decker.
But Lex has become Kendall's gem.
Poor Kendall.
Yeah. What have you got going on, Patricia?
Well, as mentioned earlier in the show, for those who are wondering, yes, I've Static Cling. It's already on my channel.
Your microphone decided no one needed to know that.
Damn it. Okay. Right. There we go. That should do it. Okay. So, as mentioned earlier, Rocco's Modern Life Static Cling. It's
yeah, we have.
No? Damn it.
You said Static Cling, and then it just like...
So what came after Static Cling?
Okay. Enter the Florpus tomorrow. Then, afterwards, Dream Machine. Top five best and worst DreamWorks. The vote is still up. If any of you guys are interested in voting best up on the polls, go vote for it.
Okay, where are the polls?
The polls are on my community page, Twitter, Facebook. Vote for your favorite DreamWorks films. Deadlines tonight at midnight. We'll reveal what the top 5 best and worst are tomorrow. So there you go.
Midnight Central Time?
Yes.
So that's they got a good 2 hours.
Yeah. They got plenty of time. And finally, last but not Dora and the City of Gold. I'm watching that next week. A live action Dora.
The one where she got that knife? Why is that in every trailer? This is a serious Dora movie.
The teenage Dora where she goes to high school and she has to deal with high school.
Oh, that's why she got the knife. Okay, I don't blame her.
I'm going to watch that next week.
Oh, boy. So, continuing on, we got 5 weeks left of the summer of Jackie Chan, and next week we'll be finishing off this lovely pack. Oh boy! And
also, people have asked me when we're going to do the crossover with Power Rangers, the movie.
Oh yeah, I've been seeing that in the comments as well. This year?
Presumably sometime after the summer of Jackie Chan.
I got to do some horror, though. There's been big requests for horror. I know one thing I could do that YouTube's algorithms just fucking love for some reason. The I Spit on Your Grave series. If I ever do a video that's going to end up on the trending tab, it's going to be one of those.
Yeah. I mean, hey, look at it this way. Power Rangers, the movie does have a monster in it, and giant monsters.
I know, Mad Max. I know.
So it does, fit in with your criteria. So you could say, I'm going to review something really horrifying. The 1995 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie.
Oh, okay.
And lest we forget, the Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island sequel.
But also, of course, got the gaming channel, got the stuff going on there. Been streaming a good amount of Saints Row 4. Accidentally streamed a little bit out to the main channel for a bit, but never mind that. Also got some actual recordings of some gameplay done that's going to be going up over the course of the next week. A little cookie clicker today, and 3 more parts of Sakura Cupid. Yay. Happiness. Happiness is awkwardly written romance scenes in smut.
So Decker's familiar with my writing, at least.
I could probably just, I could see about reading one of your novels out. Would you let me do that? That'd be fun. Or would I be just absolutely, just completely invading your copyright and taking all the monetization for myself, so that's a no.
We'll see. So anyway, thank you all for watching. I've been that long-haired creepy guy.
I've been Decker Shadow.
And I'm Patricia.
And remember, your algorithms are broken as shit, YouTube. The first step to getting better is admitting you have a problem.
Good night, everybody.